This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, welcome to the humid Florida Swamp Fuck Fest. It's Wild Things. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
And I'm Angelica Jade Bastién, bitches.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. Thank you for tuning in. As always, you heard right up front, we are welcoming back to the program our good friend, Angelica Jade. How are you? It's great to see you, by the way, IRL.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We're in the same room right now.
We're
It's
in a
fucking crazy.
studio. It's crazy.
I'm in fucking New York City, motherfuckers. Like, you're so lucky. Like, right now,
We
to
are.
be in my presence.
We're in the beautiful HeadGum studios in Brooklyn, New York.
That
Nice.
is right.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thanks to Mike putting this together.
Thanks,
Air
Mike.
conditioning's on, also courtesy of Mike. Loving that. Not sweating like a pig. It's great.
This episode recording. Thank you, Mike, for that.
So, are you now our teen sexpert? Is that how it's going to work out? You were the one that said you said, Angelica, Wild Things. No one else said it.
That's true.
My whole thing was, I was like, okay, what's an interesting movie to talk about,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
Mhm.
That sort of fits into my theme, which has been most of the movies I've done on the podcast have been 90s movies.
Sure.
Right.
With the exception of Wonder Woman 1984. Remember we did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Remember that?
movie?
Remember
Yeah.
when we kvetched for 3 hours?
I know.
about that piece of
Sometimes
shit?
I listen to that episode and I'm like, yo, why were we so fucking mad at this movie?
I was so mad at that movie.
I mean, for
Yes.
obvious
Sure.
reasons.
And it was in the depths of quarantine.
We were
Everybody was
losing it.
frustrated and shit.
It was
you
the
know.
movie that was supposed to save us. It's supposed to be the one thing at the end of it all that would have been fun to watch.
Yep.
And then it was hell on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gal Gadot, ooh, girl, you need to not talk about Israel. You need
No,
to
no.
check your
Yeah,
little Zionist
that's all.
ass out.
That's been uncomfortable.
Gal Gadot.
Let me ask you this, because this was something I posited last week to our good buddy John Gabris when he was on. We were talking Fast Five. I said, because she's in those, like, in
The
some of
middle
those
ones,
movies.
yeah.
And I was like, I think, because that was 2011 that came out, Fast Five. And I was like, I think over the last 10 years, somehow, she's become a worse actor.
That doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of agree. Like, she's not memorable in the Fast and Furious movies. She's just kind of like there.
Yeah.
She hits her mark. Oh, this is the line. I'm saying the line. But like in the Wonder Woman 1984 film specifically, it really highlights like her inability to have normal human speech.
Well,
Yeah.
That's what the problem is. They give her more material.
Exactly.
They should have
Yep.
stuck with the 7 lines of script. That was the best thing for her. And now you're leading stuff. Even in that, wasn't she in the Murder on the Orient Express remake
I
thing?
couldn't
Oh,
No,
tell you.
she's in the
Was she?
one. No, isn't she
don't
going to
think
be in the one that was supposed to come out, but it has Army Hammer, and they're like, don't know what to do with it.
They
It's
got
another.
Army Hammer. Christopher Plummer's dead, so he can't sweep in and fix that shit.
I would actually have loved that if Christopher
great.
Plummer was just like all of a sudden fucking Gal Gadot.
What is the problem with Army Hammer, though? Like, okay, he's a cannibal. Big deal.
You know-
like,
Whoopity-doo.
yeah.
I honestly think that would have been a less of a deal. Like if it was just came out like, yeah, he's a cannibal.
Oh, was it more than that?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
lot of
no.
bad
Being like
stuff.
nasty to
Like-
ladies and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, nasty to
Oh,
women.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Anyway, teen sex.
Yeah.
Can you be polite to anybody if you're a cannibal? That's my
I
question.
thought it was just cannibal. I thought he was like the Cannibal Cop, and I was like, you know what? That's bad. But in my head, I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Right? I think they would have forget that one would have been fine. I think ultimately,
Yeah.
The
But
Cannibal
Yeah.
Cop got off scot-free. He had cannibalistic dreams, but he wasn't nasty to ladies, so I think that saved him.
Now, outside of New York listeners, you might not remember the Cannibal Cop.
I mean, why
He
are
was
we
an
doing this?
NYPD guy.
That's my question.
I
He
remember.
wanted to like grill people. Anyway, teen sex is the subject.
So we're
Yes.
talking Wild Things from 98. Great year for some, not for others.
Ooh, but you know what? Before you do that,
Oh, what's that, dude?
if you don't mind, I'm going to hit play real quick.
Coming soon to theaters.
Oh!
It's the VHS Trailer Game, ladies and gentlemen.
Shit.
America's favorite game show revolving around obsolete materials and Angelica Jade Bastién's least favorite part of the show.
Yes, I cringe sometimes listening to it because I'm like, this is rigged. I agree with Eric. I'm like, something in the milk isn't clean.
you.
So if I don't get any points, that's also why it's rigged.
Yep.
Angelica needs to get off Eric Chan. You know what I mean?
Eric Chan is poisoning America.
Exactly.
40 members strong. Eric.
I know.
Use a VPN if you're going to go.
Oh my God.
You're going to the Philippines like every other month just to check in on the servers
I
and
am,
whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah, if everybody's looking for Jim Watkins, Eric has the direct beeline to him.
You know, I couldn't bring myself to finish that HBO program there. That dude did it, right? He's
They're
cute.
pretty sure it's
In tandem,
him or his dumb
the
son.
Jim Ron guy. I think
The
they're
dad and the
together.
son.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
HBO show?
The Cullen Hoback doc, Q, Into the Storm.
It's a
No, I
great.
don't
That's
watch
great if you're a fan of
Oh,
just
it's pretty
watching
gripping.
people be gross and like remembering why this whole country is fucked.
Oh yeah,
or
so
one
fucked.
of the many reasons this
I
whole
meing
country
many.
is.
The
that's what
racism is
the racism's huge.
probably
also
a little.
there.
I got a
higher up.
feeling, though, a couple of those QAnon founders there, those dudes probably pretty racist.
Oh my God!
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Okay, so for those, I don't have the points in front of me, but I will say the way this game works for anyone who wants to know is I'm going to ask 5 questions for each trailer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the point order.
Right.
Everyone's going to guess, or
Well,
if you.
Chris is going to answer because he got the
Oh
answers.
lordy!
God.
Have we
you-
ever gotten to just like the last, like the 5th question?
It's I think so because
I was just burping into the microphone like a fucking scumbag.
I mean,
Sorry
I
about
literally just did the same thing.
I mean, you losers have got shut out a couple times, so we've gone all through 5. Yeah.
that. Oh, no. Okay.
Well, okay,
There's been
first of
times where
all-
like we just straight up have not got. You're right.
Got-
yeah.
Yeah, all
We
right,
bombed
all right.
on whatever that, the Mike Lee movie.
Yes, the Mike Lee was bad for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was the worst for Steve, who I want to remind people has 0 points, which is pretty
That's right.
incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
bad.
true.
Yeah.
Steve, throughout this whole thing,
Coming
will
in
always be a
last.
0, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So Angelica is going to play for the guest team. Angelica is
I'm
the only
sorry.
guest to put points on the big board, so that's pretty cool.
Sure.
Once you guess within a round, you are out until the next round, which is the next trailer.
Right.
And everybody gets it. And the winner of which will use the WHM Slush Fund for a cameo of their choice.
That's right. Now, I want to point out that I'm kind of seated in this room to the side where I'm not in Steve's line of vision.
Steve Sadek, famous for not having any peripheral vision.
No,
Yeah,
not
I
at
mean,
all.
Yeah.
well,
I'm like
thing
a
is,
horse.
He's got these he's got these gigundo glasses on, and I can see the sides of his eyes. He's not going to be looking at me with. He's going to be looking at me with his paralyzed vision.
Yeah, we've okayed a punch in the
Thank you
arm
so much. Yeah.
from Eric on this one.
Okay.
At
All right,
Purple.
everybody. You know what? Let's get to it. So, one overarching note: one of these trailers, and I won't say which one, is a previous episode.
Oh. This fucked me the last time you
Yeah.
said that, though.
Yeah.
I
I know.
totally bombed out on Muppet Christmas
How many
Carol.
trailers are there in total?
There are 3 trailers.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
2, and the first 2 are going to be coming soon to theaters in 1998,
Uh-huh.
and the third is now available on video cassette.
Nice.
Okay, thank
So
you
just an
for the-
FYI.
Okay.
So one might be a 97 release-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
But okay, so the first one, Game Master's Clue.
James.
This bitch.
Jane
right
Master.
here.
A rightfully embattled director's follow-up to his big breakthrough hit, an adaptation from a master of horror. Andrew Jupin.
Ooh, fuck, this might be too early now. Is this Jeepers Creepers?
It is not Jeepers
Because
Creepers.
that dude's in battle.
Oh, that dude's rightfully
pedophile.
in battle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nasty.
That dude
Ooh.
sucks.
But see, now we're getting like him doing this editorializing. This guy's probably just ate a sandwich Steve didn't
All
like.
right, you know what, dude? When we get to the end, you'll find out this dude did not eat a sandwich. You'll be very
Well, he's probably eating a sandwich, but he's also like,
Possibly.
Yeah, it
fucking,
might be.
whatever.
Okay.
Can you say it one more
So-
time?
yes,
there,
I will.
Steve?
A
and actually, now I know
rightfully embattled director's follow-up to his breakthrough hit, an adaptation from a master of horror.
God fucking damn it. Now
Master
I know
of-
The
exactly
Master
what
of
it is.
Horror is throwing
Right?
me off
It's Chris
the-
Cabin.
Apt pupil.
It is
Yep,
apt
there it is.
pupil.
I know
There
that
it is.
movie.
Yes.
Wait. That's a master
It's
of horror.
a Stephen
Stephen
King
King.
short story or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the trick.
Oh.
That's the
Yeah.
Game Master's
That's
trick.
the
Well,
ga-
congratulations, Chris.
Thank you.
Also owning a VHS of
Eric,
this.
you're within 10 points of me.
Can I let everybody know?
Am I really?
Yeah, I think you are.
I won't be able to read it because
motherfucker.
Chris got it, but the trivia I pulled out is my favorite trivia because it's insane. It's straight from IMDb.
That's how you know it's good.
This film features a character named Monica, Jews, and David Schwimmer. David Schwimmer.
Also Jewish.
David Schwimmer is best known for playing Ross Geller in Friends, in which his character Ross Geller is a Jewish and his sister is named Monica.
Wait, he's an apt pupil?
He is an apt pupil.
Yep.
He's like the
Wow.
guidance counselor. I kind of want to rewatch that. It's
Yeah.
like, I think it's,
Yeah, I don't remember him.
I have
being in
no
that.
memory of him in that movie
It
at all.
sounds like a fun
He's-
time. Those Stephen King movies are a
I
trip.
think he's like the one who figures it out.
yes, he does. If I remember.
Hey, I think he's a Nazi.
I find him like as interesting as Nasal Drip.
Yes,
Yes.
Oh,
he's
man.
awful.
He's awful. I'm sorry. Like let me just say this because it's weighing on my heart and my spirit.
Sure.
You got to get it off your chest. Then.
Do
You
it.
got to do it.
Friends is one of the worst shows that
Yep.
white people support.
Yep.
And it's
Thank you.
like,
Thank you
if
so
you
much.
want to watch a similar vibe, but actually good, watch Living Single,
Yeah.
where people have real sexual chemistry and friend chemistry in a fun way. And it deals with interesting ideas. And it's funny as shit. Friends was never fucking funny. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't really be fucking with white people like that either.
They are no
Wasn't
friends
sure.
of mine either.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Like,
will
I
say-
think just for everybody to know, like, I was talking to my friend Alex and I was like, yeah, I'm seeing Friends and da-da-da. And he was, and I was like, maybe some white ones. And he's like, you have white friends? And I was like, it took me a second. I was like, no, I know I have some white people friends. And then I was like, no, I'm seeing the We Hate Movie Boys. And that's it. That's in terms of my white quota. That's it.
I'll tell you what, I can't remember exactly what it was, but Living Single definitely better theme intro.
Oh,
than
of course.
Living
In a 90s kind of world, I'm glad I got
Yeah.
my girl. And then rap part.
Yep.
Gotta head up what?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I was going to say that's the part that Steve and I won't try, but Chris Cabin will be
I
right
will go there. I will go in.
Angelica, you want to rethink that white friends comment? Oh, no, you don't, right? Oh, you don't. Okay,
Oh,
good.
thank you for introducing me to the bus there, Steve.
Okay. Number 2 here.
Okay.
Game Master's Clue. A hip horror sequel. The teaser trailer has the heroine working through the traumatic events of the first film with... Oh, I got Eric over here.
Scream 2?
Incorrect. Andrew Jubin?
I still know what you did last
That's the
summer.
only other one it could have been. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the teaser trailer is Jennifer Love Hewitt at a therapist's office.
Oh,
and then
yes.
Hook
I-
Hand jumps through the
I
thing.
remember this. Also, Eric, by the way, that was like that's like you did a sacrificial incorrect answer because I was literally going to say Scream.
Yes,
2.
of course.
Wow.
It's a coin flip. When he
And then
said
it was just like, well, if that's not the one, it's
Yes.
got to be the other one.
For a second, I thought you were going to chime in and say I was a fucking idiot because that came out in whatever year.
like 90, that was probably 90.
No, Scream 2 is 97.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
Pretty
so
late.
I was,
You were right there.
All right,
It's
don't
right.
make fun of me
Okay.
in the comments to this. I'm just letting people
Yeah,
know.
tell everybody I'll fight them if they do that.
Okay, final one, and then we can talk about wild things and threesomes.
Hot.
Hot Game Master's Clue. Now, this is the one coming soon to video cassette, FYI.
Okay.
Okay.
Game Master's Clue. A dry, dark comedy that centers on a teenage sex pot and her bisexual lover.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Coming soon.
So this means
Comes
it's like
soon to videotape.
Yeah.
96, 97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that one more time. there,
A
Steve.
dry, dark comedy that centers on a teenage sex pot and her bisexual lover.
There's something there, and I'm
Yeah.
like trying to pull it from the smoke and fog
Yeah.
and weed in my brain.
I will say this is a movie that you have to pull from the fog a little bit. It's not like something
Yeah.
that's well celebrated right now.
Should we move down to the next clue?
We can,
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
everyone's good. All right, so
Oh, please.
trivia. DD says, what did you think? I'd be the dead one? I'm the fucking narrator, guys. Keep up. In fact, one of the most famous movies with voiceover narration ever, Sunset Boulevard, does take place after the narrator has died. DD says, what do you think? I'd be the dead one? I'm the fucking narrator, guys. Yada, yada, yada.
It sounds familiar.
This
Yeah,
is
it does.
really
Especially
great.
the tone of that.
Yes,
that
it's-
line.
Mhm.
I'm like, what
Dee
the
Dee.
fuck?
DD.
DD though is throwing me. I'm like, who the fuck?
All right, are we going to move on to 3? So
Damn.
for 3 points,
Oof.
the tagline, which is not going to help anybody, sadly.
Uh-huh.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, You'll be offended.
Oh, yeah,
no.
man. It's the 90s.
no.
Get ready to get offended.
Get
You better
offended.
fucking like it.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s.
Who's
man.
trying to offend me?
Okay. Are we moving on to 2?
Wow,
no idea.
this is hilarious.
No
Number
idea.
2.
Fuck.
And listen, I know someone on Twitter got it already. You can just put
Yeah,
that in
shut
your...
up.
The whole
Yeah,
thing
shut the
about
fuck
you always
up.
see the thing where it's like, I was screaming in my car. And
I
I'm
can't
like,
hear you, dude.
Why are you screaming in your car? This was
For
recorded
who?
fucking weeks ago.
Yeah, we can't hear
Just
you.
people.
Yeah, like sometimes I see this is why I'm off Twitter right now. I'm like, sometimes
That's
I
the
see
move.
comments and I'm just like, oh, like people are fucking stupid.
It's a lot of
Or
the
they
internet.
like playing it online. Very.
Is that why
much.
you
Yeah.
muted me? Is that how that worked? Some people are fucking stupid. Mute.
Fuck, this sucks.
Yeah,
number
it
two,
kinda does.
number
Believe
2
it.
star in the film, which is probably not going to help everybody, but Martin Donovan, which is the 90s, and you know
He
Martin
was
Donovan.
there.
He was
Yeah.
around. Oh, I got Eric Siska.
This is going to be wrong. I haven't seen the movie in 10,000 years. Truth?
It is not Truth. Chris Gavin.
Simple Men?
It is not Simple Men, and the
Damn.
number one.
Hell Hart. Like you assume
Yes.
Hell
Hal
Hart.
Hartley.
I said, Hal Hartley.
I will say the number 1 star will help you guys if you want to wait for it instead of guess.
Well, it's too late.
It's,
isn't it?
no, for Andrew and Angelica.
Oh, I was just
I have-
scratching
Okay.
my chest here.
The
I got
number
nothing.
1 star, the lead of the film, the poster of the film, Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci. Wow. Okay, I know I haven't seen this. movie.
Christina Ricci, Martin Donovan.
Oh, son of a.
Mm-hmm.
Christina Ricci. Martin.
I mean, well, if
Uh,
neither of us answers, this would be the first time nobody's answered.
No, I've stumped these dudes
Okay,
before, so
good.
you're good.
We bottomed out on Secrets and Lies.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Are we going to turn our keys? Nobody's going to get it? I'll give you one more thing just because I like Angelica. Might not help, probably won't. 'cause,
Aw.
Lisa Kudrow is also in this film.
Yeah, it didn't help.
No, I
Thank you
didn't think
much.
so. Because also you love Friends so much.
I know.
I got
What is up
nothing.
with this French? This 90s shit, man. It's too much.
I believe
Like-
Tom Arnold is also in
Yeah,
it.
I don't know about that. The film is the opposite of sex.
Yeah, I've seen that poster.
Yes. Okay.
I never saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I think
my
it's a Don Roos
God.
movie.
I wouldn't tell you. Yeah, that's like that dark comedy thing. Like I think
Oh.
she gets the guy is gay at first, then she has sex with him, then he realizes he's bisexual. She gets pregnant, and it's a whole silly thing.
Oh,
Interesting. So
gracious.
that's the opposite of sex. And now we will talk about sex, the motion
Actual
picture.
sex.
Sex the motion picture.
Wild things.
Wild things. I'm trying to think of what my thought process was with suggesting it, but because we were talking about other titles, and including like disturbing behavior, which I had talked about doing
Right.
previously on an episode. But I don't know, something just I was like, wild things. And I was like, maybe that'll inspire them. And then I was like, oh, we're doing it.
We're doing it. You're a little younger than us. Did you see this in theaters or probably not? I mean, you're
Bitch, I didn't see this motherfucker.
Well, a couple of these perverts did over
Yeah.
here.
I saw this in theaters.
Children.
A friend of mine, this is so weird. It was, I don't know if it was I don't know if it was his 14th
Oh
or
my God.
15th birthday.
Oh my
A
God.
Convinced-
birthday screening? Holy shit.
Convinced his mother
Oh
to
my
take
God.
him and all of his friends to go see Wild Things, and I was forever in her debt.
Yeah.
Wait a second, though. Most important question, I think. Was the mother, was it like I'm buying the tickets and dropping off, or was she in
She
attendance?
was in attendance.
Oh,
What's
man.
cool though, I think there was enough of us that I think I got the second row. So
Oh,
that's a
did-
little
did-
buffer.
Honestly, like if I time traveled, I would probably be seeing a lot of movies and just to get the
Absolutely.
vibe. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's one I would actually see in theaters, but I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I have a very specific kind of black mother who would never let me. I would have to sneak in.
Just like you're not going to
basically.
see that filth.
Yeah, but I
Eric-
found a way.
Mhm.
Let
You
me
saw
ask
this
you:
too, right?
Did you? I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on
Oh.
video. I knew when it was being released, and I was like, I was like, yeah,
you had the
I'll
fucking
wait,
calendar date circle, did you
until
not?
I'm
Hard.
home, until there's a lock around me.
Yeah.
Let's just wait.
You
And
were
then-
in line at Nutbusters video.
Yes, Nutbusters video, which was tanked by Blockbuster, as everybody knows. But was there any like candle? Did she have to say the words "blow out your candle" in the Wild Things?
No.
Theater?
There was no like actual party element to it. It was just a regular showing. But I think she was disappointed in her judgment.
She wasn't mad at herself. She was just disappointed.
I think I would love to know if anyone else is in that theater to see like all these little kids cackling at fucking Kevin. Kevin, yeah, and then when the dog shows up, I remember that. I remember seeing the screen and seeing the dog, and I think there was just this wave of.
Can I tell you? I think this was the first penis I saw on screen.
I think so too.
It had to have been a first or very early for me.
And it was shocking. It was a shocking development. It's like, because it's the last, 10 minutes
and
of the movie.
So casual.
It is.
And that's what makes it rule.
Yes, more casual dick.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Both on screen and in my life, gentlemen who are listening.
I saw this in, it was the Bronx. Nobody gave a shit. It was 14 years old or whatever.
Yeah, you could see it.
Exactly. I just went with my buddy. We would just see like fucking it was like, you want to see Mortal Kombat Annihilation or Wild Things? And then we went to see Wild Things like, oh my God, this is awesome. You know what I mean?
No idea
like,
what it was?
No clue. Just thought it was like a cool twisty thriller. You know what I mean? And then like, it got real sexy.
You want to hear a righteous bit of trivia?
Sure.
Dude who did the score for this movie also scored the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, that sounds
among a lot of other things, but
George S. Clinton.
George S. Clinton
number.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I wasn't paying attention at first in the credits, and I just saw George Clinton, and I was like, holy shit.
I thought that too. And then I was like, wait, no, that's what? No.
Then when you look him up on IMDb, it's like, oh, that's definitely not the George Clinton I was
That's
hoping
what
for.
the S is doing.
Yeah.
It's like, not him, not that one.
We want the dick. Gotta have that dick.
We've got to talk about the score, though. The score is an important part of this movie.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I do like it.
It fucking rules.
And there's some saxophone or
Yes.
saxophone. Or whatever.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
definitely
It's
a
like-
saxophone situation. It's a score, just like the movie itself. Like this movie, why I think this movie is great, and why I was so excited to like rewatch it first time through without pausing it, if you know what I'm saying. I hadn't watched this movie before, like
You know what that's
post
about,
Y2K.
right?
Yeah, I just had to look at somebody. I was like,
I've seen a couple scenes of this movie a lot, and that is the alligator wrestling scenes.
Oh,
Really,
yeah, all
those
the-
are-
When that
Walter?
hillbilly puts
exciting.
that alligator under his chin, look out.
I had the tracking was all fucked up for that one scene.
wow.
I was always more of a 9.5 weeks man myself. But yeah, this was pretty big, I guess.
Why I think this movie is great is that it knows exactly what it is. It's just a disgusting ass Florida swamp fucker movie, like neo-noir, to its bone. And it's not trying to be anything else. It's not trying to like impress anybody. It's not trying to be like conservative in its content for like wrangling the biggest box office net.
Yeah.
Like it just is. And along with that, the score is just that. It's just it's a gross ass, like the horns just where you need the horns. Like everything works
And
perfectly.
it really leans into that Florida thing too.
Oh,
like
fuck
a
yeah.
lot of movies that are even set in Florida, like, yeah, it's around, but we're doing others. Don't worry about it. But this is like Florida, Florida, Florida.
Yeah.
And
Big
there's
time.
the rich and the swamp. It's like going against each other kind of a thing.
Yeah, it has nice contradictions that, for people who don't know, a lot of people think I'm actually from Louisiana, and I always have to be like, no, I'm not from New Orleans or Laurelville, the small town where my mom lives now. I just go home there. I'm actually born and raised in Miami, Florida. I'm a
Oh.
Miami girl.
So did you go straight from like Miami to Chicago?
Yep.
Really?
I graduated high school. Ooh, you know what? I'm not going to let y'all know my age.
No.
I'm going to start lying too.
That's all right. At
Well,
some
I think
point,
that-
you graduated high school.
2000 something.
I think they can already do the math
yeah.
since you said that you were 8 or 9 when this
Yeah,
movie
fuck.
came out.
I was 3. I was like a baby.
Sure.
What's your mother's maiden name, real quick?
Oh yeah,
Let's
eat
go
my
over the
ass.
security questions.
You had a socia.
All the social security questions.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a Miami girl, and watching this, I'm like, oh, these are just so like rich white Miami area people, and they really nail it. The only thing they don't nail, not enough sweating.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Whew. Yeah.
Except for in that sex scene with
Yeah.
Theresa Russell and her.
Cabana Boy.
Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
how he works for her, but also Theresa Russell, bitches,
Yeah.
love her in Black Widow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've
Oh,
seen it.
really?
Yeah,
Really
not
good
the
movie.
upcoming Black Widow.
Oh, wait. So what is this? What Black Widow?
It's this like really great neo noir where she plays a Black Widow.
Oh.
Is it Deborah Winger?
Yep.
And Deborah Winger plays a detective hunting her down, and
Yeah.
they have a weird psychosexual
It's really
intense
freaking
bond.
That sounds good.
Note to self,
It's-
add to watch list.
It's very much feels like a precursor of Killing Eve when Killing Eve was good.
Very like process oriented. Like you get a lot of Deborah Winger just working through the clues. It's really good.
Yeah, and like Theresa Russell is like really smart, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's a fun watch. It's like a really good, I love me neo-noir. I
Mhm.
love finding a scuzzy, weird neo-noir. Because the good thing about neo-noirs like Wild Things or Black Widow is that like, unlike, classic Hollywood era noirs, you can see the fucking. Which, not saying I want to see Humphrey Bogart laying pipe
Yeah,
with
kind
Lauren
of.
Bacall, but kind
Come
of.
here, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
My
But
pipe is weird.
You know what I say, babe? Never let the sun go down in an argument. So now you and you kiss each other.
Look, this is very hot and all, but I'm not gonna be moving during this.
Let
So
me
you're
take
gonna
your
have to do-
enormous lady underwear. It's 1956. Put it in my pocket.
I love that. But also like on the other hand, like one of the strengths of classic Hollywood noirs is the fact that you don't see the sex, but it's very obvious it exists, and there's like the sex comes out in certain gazes between
Yeah.
actors or in dialogue. Like, when Barbara Stanwyck and Fred McMurray are talking about her anklet and
Mhm.
in Double Indemnity. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I love like the vibe of Wild Things, the scuzziness,
Yes.
the people just drinking beer and it's like hot out and gators. And it's like,
I've been
what the
meaning to
fuck?
go back to some of those neo-noirs, like the John Dahl stuff, like The Last
Oh, yeah.
Seduction.
Oh, dude, Last
I
Seduction
love The
fucking
Last
rules.
Seduction.
Yeah,
For-
Red Rock West, I
Yep,
think
yes.
is also
Yep,
him.
yep.
But for real sweat, you got to go back to Body Heat.
Oh God, they
Just
are like
drenched.
slick.
Everybody is wet down there.
And it's that movie.
Everybody's
Oh.
wet down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
It's well-
get it?
It's got
Get it,
many
kids?
meetings there.
Just watching this movie, because I'm not a Florida guy, and like, I've been to Florida a couple times, and the fucking summer heat, man, that will get you going.
I mean, it's hot there, but Louisiana hot is like on some other shit. Like, it's like you feel like you're in a fucking soup bowl in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going, what? No, y'all don't. I'm going this summer. Y'all don't even know when the fuck I'm going. Do not. If you see me in the street anywhere,
Interceptors.
Chicago, LA, wherever I'm at.
What gate are you going to be at? Just real quick.
So H3.
And the
No,
hotel.
thank you. No, seriously, do not say anything to me. If you're like, are you Angelica Bastién? I will say no. Because I don't get recognized anywhere except for movie theaters, though, which is always like, hi, yes, it's me. You're taking my card so you can see my name, and I can't lie at this point.
I got recognized at a pizza parlor once. I think they got the clue because I was eating.
It's always on the Metro North.
Really?
Really?
3 times now, but
That's
it's always on the
amazing.
Metro North.
Huh.
Oh yeah, you're Larry the Cable Guy, right?
Yeah. Get her done.
Thank you. Get her done.
Chicken.
I love the opening assembly about sex crimes, which we don't even get. I kind of want to see what this whole assembly would be
Absolutely.
like.
I know. I was actually like, no, you have to continue.
Yes.
Like, you can't just be like, sex crimes on the board, and then like, here come the cops that are important to the story. And they're like, we know you've heard some things about like sexual assault. And then it like cuts really hard. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Like,
Mhm.
what are they telling these kids?
If anything, I just want to see it because you get a tiny taste of it. Kevin Bacon is opening himself up for the heckling of a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Oh,
there
God.
are kids like talking because they're like, oh, and the police are here, and it's like, boo! Fuck you, pig! School assembly!
Well, I mean, Neve Campbell heckles the shit out of him.
Yeah, she does. But there's a line I do have to say from a
Yes.
kid where one kid, like their question is posed to this kid audience. What's a sex crime? And then some dude screams, "Not getting any!" And
Yeah.
it's like, what
Yep.
the fuck? I'd
Yeah.
be like, turn around, like, shut the fuck up.
But it's so accurate though, because
I
like there was
know.
always the piece of shit. No matter the severity of the assembly topic, there was the dude who's gonna make cracks, and that guy was like the celeb of the afternoon if you were doing so like and I feel like it's like a sliding scale of like the most serious the presentation or reason for meeting. If you're cracking wise, like the more epic and legendary you deem yourself
that was
to
I'll be completely honest, that was me.
Here we go.
And I was kicked out of a religion class by a priest.
Wow.
Because I mean, it's a shitty thing. I was a fucking 8th grade. I was a piece of garbage. But you realize, hey, if I get a laugh, people will stop making fun of me.
Yep.
So
That's
the
move.
idea was
that was the move in 6th grade for me. Totally.
So we were learning about Nero, and this guy,
Cool dude.
this priest is like, yeah, blah blah blah. He was a monster. The fiddle, the burn, all that stuff. By the way, he kicked his wife to death, and I raised my hand and I asked, was it one kick or a series of kicks? And he's like, get out of here.
One kick. I bet you it was a series.
It was definitely, or maybe there was a stairway involved.
Steve.
Yeah, I know.
Steve.
I was not a good Catholic.
Yeah, it's funny because if you were that guy in the audience, I was a Neve Campbell, a goth chick from a poor family, except it was like the Negro version.
Any assembly storm outs though? Because she storms the
oh my
fuck out of
god,
this
I
assembly.
definitely had assembly storm outs. I was suspended,
Ooh.
almost expelled.
Really?
Oh, shit.
I dealt with some shit in high school. That's why whenever people are like, oh my god, like the best years of your life are like high school through your 20s, I'm like, you mean when I was improperly or completely unmedicated? Yeah, those
Yeah, the 30s
That's
are
a good
pretty
point.
good. You got a little more money in your pocket, ideally, and you've figured some shit out, and maybe you're getting some therapy. Like
exactly. It's the money. Honestly, it's the money.
Yes.
It's the money that makes it.
I got in school suspension once. I spit on some guy.
Ooh, wow.
Really?
Wait,
You straight
what?
away you spit out. Wait,
That's
so
mean.
some guy like
No,
Shit,
school
just-
administrator,
no,
teacher,
a
student.
A student.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For what?
For mouthing off.
Ooh.
Damn,
Oh,
that's like
really?
a real like. I feel like that's more disrespectful than punching somebody in the face.
Mhm.
Like to spit on somebody, it's like you're a
Absolutely.
piece of shit.
I got suspended.
Not you, but
No,
the,
no, no.
the person.
I definitely was at the time. I was seeing wild things in the theater. I was
a
spitting on people.
wildling seeing wild.
I got sent home only once, and this is me and my friend smoked up before class,
Mhm.
Noise.
and he smoked a little too much, and he had put a little something on the top of it.
Oh, PCP.
Had not to, yeah.
Really?
No, this was the other one.
You punched a hole through a cop car.
What are you talking? Some sweet cron, dude?
No, opium.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Opium.
Like he had gotten it from his like cousin or something. He was just like, "Here, just do it."
Always.
So like, we go to my
His
first
cousin
class.
or something. Lord
Exactly.
help him.
I'd be like, I wasn't interrogating him at the time. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get high.
Cousins are terrible, dude. That's some bad news.
So
right there.
we go to a math class. It's their first class. I like red eyes to shit.
Yeah,
And
sure.
he is sleeping
well, he's chasing the dragon, dude.
right like behind me. He's like sleeping on his
He's having
desk.
some Sherlock Holmes dreams.
The math
He's in his
teacher,
mind palace.
Yeah.
the math teacher was a bit of a wiseacre, and you could just see him like he creeps up behind Brian, the guy I'm with, and he just slams on his desk as hard as he can. Brian tilts over and like drops into the desk next to him.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, go to the principal's office. And we were both like, yeah, we're both like, we stunk of it.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Red eyes.
Man.
Like, I'm pretty sure. I kind of think Brian could have been like, yeah, he like fucked with me. And like, he had a bruise on his head after that.
Should have turned that fucker in, dude. Ruin his career.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is what it seems to be happening in this movie until
Mm.
Yeah.
other shit happens, including sex.
I was
Yes.
suspended only because it's Catholic school and you're not allowed to learn for free. So anytime you fucking are delinquent in your bills, which I was commonly,
Yeah.
they'd send you right home, FYI, until you fucking paid up.
I guess all right, we're doing the stories. One time in school suspension, I like made a substitute teacher cry for some reason. I don't remember what it was.
Andrew.
I was being a jerk.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Everyone grows up.
We all
Everybody
do.
grows
We
up.
all have.
Mhm. But yeah, so you find out that Neve Campbell does not like Kevin Bacon. I was shocked. I had to rewind because I guess I looked away during the opening credits, and it was like Matt. And I see Matt Dillon, Neve
Yep. Campbell,
Denise Richards. I'm like, that makes sense. And I'm like, ooh, I guess Kevin Bacon gets the hammer at the end. but it's Bill Murray. I'm like, is Kevin Bacon uncredited? No, I had to rewind because Kevin Bacon is first fucking billed in this movie.
Is that weird to anybody?
That was incredibly weird. I had to
he's
rewind
been
the
around
credits.
forever.
Yeah, but it was just like,
etc.
It was like,
He's
really? Like his character?
Exactly.
But I feel like, I mean, like, you know, Bill Murray gets the and because he's fucking Bill Murray.
Sure.
So once that's out of the equation, Kevin Bacon's the biggest star in the movie.
Yeah, and plus, well, you get the with Robert Wagner, which that's a creaky hand.
With Robert
I would
Wagner.
say with
chuckled at
yes,
that.
I would say with Kevin Bacon and Bill Murray, like kind of a thing. That,
Yeah.
the with is its own kind of what do you call it there? Honorific in its own way. The with.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yes.
Fucking with Robert Wagner. Yeah, with
His
him on a
tan,
boat.
gray-haired ass.
Yeah. He's kind of amazing in this movie, though. Those
Yeah.
two scenes he's got that piece of shit, but he's kind of fantastic.
Well, I don't think I'd
piece of
ever
shit.
total piece of shit. I'd never seen him like use profanity like
Yeah.
this. And he's leaning into the profanity. I think he knew this was his opportunity to swear on screen.
And it is fun to swear in general, but to have it put on film, I'd be like, fuckity, fuck, motherfucks.
Just to ease myself into it, I just have to be cursing all the time.
Yeah, it'd be like, fuck you, fuck crafts, fuck all this shit. No, craft services, you're here for me. I love you. Yeah, like there's just some fun turns in this movie. You
Yes.
kind of feel like everybody's kind of game and kind of gets what wavelength they need to be on, which is really great.
It's crucial for a movie like this because
Yeah.
if the actors are like way too serious about it, like it's going to be a disaster because this is like it's stupid. It's stupid and fun and sexy and disgusting. And if you're like, no, if you're doing like hard drama performance, not going to fly.
Well, I mean, Matt Dillon must have loved this script.
Yes.
Like his
Oh my
agent must have been
God.
like, I got one for you, buddy.
I
got one. You are going to love this shit. The first 15 minutes are just women ogling you. That's literally it.
Yep.
Oh, which can I just say
Please.
though, the first words in the film are Denise Richards' character Kelly. Like this guy, I think touches. I don't know if it was an ascot or Netflix or whatever,
yeah.
and she goes "fuck off," and I'm like, "Those are what?" Like I was like, "This is like amazing." If I made a film, the first word would be "fuck" too.
It should be because it sets the tone for everything. You're like, oh, we're doing this in this movie? Excellent.
Matt Dillon's amazing in this movie, kind of. I think that he's also same year, and he had a lot of heat. Something About Mary. He's really good
right.
in
That's
Something
true.
About Mary.
You know, now I feel bad about talking shit about him the other week.
He's fantastic. I mean, this.
I like him.
This was I kind of like he had a little bit like I'm so pissed off that part of his renaissance was Crash.
Yes.
Like it really did
Well,
help with the
was-
swing.
That was the crest.
But
Yeah.
What else did he get off of credit? Like he did
I would say he
that
got-
Henry Chinowski movie that
Oh, right. not Barfly.
Factotum.
Factotum.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Factotum.
the Charles Bukowski.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. But like
When was One Night at McCool's? I think that was after
I think
this.
it's 01.
Yeah,
that
and
sounds
that was
right.
like a it's also kind of like a pseudo crime, but it's more comedy.
See,
I think.
I forgot who he was in a way,
Yeah.
you know? But I mean, The House That Jack Built's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I had forgotten. I had been
Fun for
living-
the whole family. You
It's fun
should
for the
go
whole
see it
family.
in theaters in middle school.
Listen, if you're 14 or 15 listening to this, get your mom to rent it.
Yeah, like just watch a lot of shit that Eric tells you to watch because that's a great idea.
But I had remembered shit like One Night at McCool's and stuff, and Crash, and I was just like, oh fuck.
And
this
then
guy. In
you,
fact,
me, and
Totem-
Dupreeh, too.
I mean, but that's
Yeah.
like because he like as a teen, like Over the Top, Rumblefish, Outsiders.
Outsiders is great.
Those he was he? No. It was his brother who's in the Blob remake.
Oh, Kevin Dillon.
Kevin Dillon's
Yeah.
the Blob
Yes,
remake,
yes.
which also
Kevin
rules.
Dillon and Dale Close.
Yeah.
But yeah, he plays this really well where he's like super scummy. Denise Richards asks for a ride home. And he's being the smart teacher because he's like, hey, the answer is always no. 1,000%.
She's literally giving him fuck me over your car eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she says, can I play too, or is it just for boys?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Right.
like, wait, should I use that line? Wait a bit. Wait, you're 27 going on 17. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a question I need. I need to know the age of Denise Richards' character. I need to know. I want to.
We find out.
Do we?
though.
Oh, do we? Okay.
We find out, but like late enough in the movie where I'm like, when they're doing the trial and
Yes.
the newscasters,
Right.
I'm pretty sure the newscaster says these 18-year-old girls.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is your way out of
Yeah,
being
exactly.
like trash bags.
It's
but
definitely
it's like,
the cover. I think, isn't there also some mention of like, it's our final
Well, yeah, they're
year or
seniors.
something?
Senior year, but you could be 17 or even 16.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
like you start laying the seed right
Yes.
there of like, oh, it's senior year, so that's kind of a good sign.
we're adults legally, so we can be fucked over the car by our guidance counselor.
I've never heard it referred to as this, the senior seminar.
I mean that's just something that
He says,
happens.
yeah, we're halfway through our senior
I think
seminar. I was like,
that's-
get out of here, Florida public school.
Is that
I
what
mean,
the
terrible.
is that what the auditorium thing is?
Yeah.
Like we're just
Yeah.
is that like a health? That's like their health class or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so that is what's going on at the
Oh,
moment.
That's the
I thought it was-
seminar. They
I-
have speakers like Kevin Bacon to come and talk about sex.
Oh, okay.
I,
don't
I thought it was
know.
the school year
yeah,
itself.
that's what I was
Oh,
thinking
I have
too.
no idea though.
Oh,
I
I'm-
never
Oh.
attended school. I lied earlier.
This is making more sense with every day.
He got schooled in a very large garage, folks.
That's right.
But Matt Dillon's like, no. Yeah, sure, I'll give you a ride home. Hey, Jimbo, you want to ride too? And
Yep,
like,
that's what you got to ask that fucking weird other kid.
And now-
His
Definitely.
haircut is so bad.
ooh, it's
Yeah.
awful.
It
cut.
sucks.
But knowing
It
the
sucks.
twists now is like that's set up to establish like, oh, he's been seen with her.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
And so we get to see, I guess, like her go home, and then we meet her mom, played by Theresa Russell, who's wearing lingerie and a robe that's open as she's on her balcony, and she's just like, "Hey, Matt Dillon,
Mhm.
you want to fuck me?" She doesn't say that,
Yeah.
but she might as well
She
be
might as
saying,
well.
Yeah.
"I will pop this pussy all around this mansion for you." And then Denise Richards is, of course, like looking at her mom like, "You fucking bitch."
Yeah.
And it's like you are having sexual competition with your daughter. You really need to rethink some things, girl.
It's the most awkward scene in the world because this is all happening while Smash Mouth's "Why Can't We Be Friends"
know, I
is
was
just
like-
hiccuping in the background.
Well, because
I thought it was hot.
when Denise Richards gets in the car, we're having a semi-charmed kind of live.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
that
Nice.
dude, that was like me getting hit by a car. I did not remember that song being in that movie, and I was like, "Ow, wow!" And it's
We're
the
trying to
fucking-
sell a soundtrack is what we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Oh, and it's
totally.
a rockin' late 90s soundtrack, man. But like it is the 1-2 punch of SemiCharm Life by Third Eye Blind right into the cover of War's Why Can't We Be Friends?
And I was disgusted by that cover. I had forgot that song existed.
Yeah.
Smash Mouth does not exist in my brain. And then, that's why I'm like, people be like, "Oh, let's bring back the 90s. Let's bring back the early aughts." I'm like, no.
Wait, hold on. But you're younger than us, so aren't you like a Shrek kid? You obsessed with
so-
Shrek?
What?
I heard that
I don't
everyone
like to be
under
a fangirl on here too much, but the Shrek episode is definitely one of y'all's best episodes because it's funny as shit.
And disgusting. Yes,
Yeah, it's so gross.
sure. Well,
And
yeah.
it's also a gross movie. But I remember you like guys sort of talking about that, like, oh, this
Yeah.
movie is probably for young, like people even just a few years younger than us probably
Yeah.
have more affinity for it. I have always been disgusted by Shrek.
Good for
Excellent.
you.
Good.
And I
Yes.
was just like, it's so strange because there's like people who are a titch younger than me who really like the second one.
Mm.
I've noticed.
Yep.
And then it's like people like really like Shrek. And I'm like very confused. I'm like, was I wrong?
No.
Could I
No,
be wrong?
no.
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 The kids.
Yeah,
the kids
'cause,
were
well,
wrong.
we're into this swamp sex, the wild things.
Yes,
They're
the kind of
into-
swamp sex I want to be
And
watching.
Yes.
they're into the Shrek sex on the swamp.
Hey, donkey! Never let the sun go down in an argument. Go make out with Fyodor.
The color of your skin don't matter to
Also,
me.
fucking Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
That's
man.
why I brought up Shrek. It's Smash Mouth Central.
Oh, Shrek, we gotta kidnap Kelly Van Ryan.
Dude, I was
Oh,
getting
the donkey is ripping his teeth out with pliers.
Oh my God.
okay, Shrek, I'm gonna put this gator under my chin. Let's do it. Wow, what the fuck was I gonna say about? The thing with Kelly and her mom, I think coincidentally, another Kelly, this reminded me of Kelly Taylor and her mom.
Yes.
On 90210, and like this sexual competition that's going on there, which is definitely a thing.
Since we're talking about Aaron Spelling, I have to say
Dana.
we have to say Dana, but I also want to say very specifically that her lover, Theresa Russell's lover, looks like a Hispanic Andrew Shue, and I've always
Kind
thought
of.
that
Ooh.
a very, like a
Yeah.
sexy Latin Andrew Shue.
I see where you're going.
I see where you're going, even though I don't 100% agree. But I see.
Okay,
I see.
all right, that's fair.
It's different in the
See it.
eyes.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
these are more
Yeah.
sultry eyes.
Yeah, there's a soul behind
Yeah,
it.
Andrew,
Yeah,
it's not the blank. It's
exactly.
not the blank slate
And
behind
I'll tell
there.
you what, this guy, what's his name? Like Panama Joe, or he's got some weird name. In his
I could look it up, but yeah. You
but
go.
that guy breathing through his nose.
Oh, that's
Definite trade up from Andrew Shue.
By the
Exclusively
way, I mean,
breathing through
we have
that
to
mouth.
mention now that we have a Patreon show on Melrose Plays in 90210. If for the uninitiated,
That's
on
true.
the blank
Which
slate
is-
himself.
Which is a great fucking show as someone who has fondness for both shows.
and someone in this room that's not the four of us will be on there very shortly.
I wonder who
I
is
wonder who.
black and fabulous and also single. This isn't, I don't know why I think like making this into a dating site for me would work. Like, no.
I don't think you want our audience.
Yeah, I just suddenly thought, like, girl, maybe not.
Have you been to a live show? No,
I
there is
have
a lot
been
of
to a live
handsome
show.
Yes.
and attractive people that go to our show.
I know,
There are
I'm
plenty.
one of them.
Yes,
You're-
exactly.
But you know what? You're all beautiful listening, except for anyone commenting on YouTube.
Yes. You're
Dude,
all
there
beautiful.
are some dudes there that think those comments are getting through, and those comments
No,
are
Or
getting
like,
through.
I
how
moderate
bad are
them.
they? Like,
Oh
You're
well,
bad.
we had a guy freaking out about basically what happens. We say anything political, they'll go and find a random YouTube episode and comment there with their grievance.
well, guess what, motherfucks? I'm a commie bitch. Fight me. Like, good luck.
There's a lot of Stop the Steal that listen. Well, congrats, guys. You almost did it.
Almost better luck next time, which there definitely will be.
So the ride home is one thing.
Hang on a second, though.
Oh,
Wait, what
please.
is this dude's name? Pool Boy
I
Johnny?
could- I
or
could not
something?
find it.
Oh,
I'm not-
all right. I'm going to look it up. That's going to kill me.
So the ride home is one thing, but
Yes.
and like this happens in like high schools. I went to an all boys high school, so it did not. But you'll have that like car wash where the cheerleaders are
Yeah,
washing the car.
sure.
That's gonna be in front of the school. You have to
Exactly.
drive your fucking car there.
Absolutely.
You do not send cheerleaders.
Also,
How's
no,
that
no,
Personal service.
no private appointments, man. Absolutely not.
Probably the weirdest fucking
Oh,
thing
yeah.
schools do. It's just
Absolutely.
like, all right, on one day, pedophilia is legal. It's like the purge.
You need at least the one mom who's kind of drunk there to supervise
Exactly.
things. Come on
but
now.
also,
By the way, wait, is
don't
it called
do
the
it.
perv? Can we call it the perv?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's
don't-
funny, like, I love this movie, actually, whatever.
Sure.
But like, I'm surprised there isn't like one nosy mom who's like
Yes.
gets whacked.
Yes. Yeah.
Somebody has to be taken out, you would think.
Here it is. So the dude Eduardo Yanez playing Frankie Condo.
Oh,
I knew it was a
Frankie
stupid name.
Condo. Like,
Yeah.
that's a fake name. Like, if you meet someone and their ID says Frankie Condo,
Yep.
be like, oh, they're gonna blackmail me. They're a con artist.
Yep, it's a family annihilation situation. This dude has killed before, and he
either
will
that or
kill
he's gonna
again.
get engaged to Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
Man, she got scammed,
God.
did she not?
I
And I
feel
like
like
Anne
people
Hathaway a lot. I
forgot
just love
about
that story.
that.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
well,
don't
it's
talk about that
incredible.
enough. The
What
con
was
artist.
this?
She married a con artist.
She married a dude that was
married a
literally
con
yes.
artist.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's
a
pretty
real
good.
deal fucking
Hats
con
off
artist.
to that
It's-
guy.
it's
Come on the
funny.
show.
No, I think he's in jail.
It's
Yeah.
I think
He
he's
is.
Use your one phone call.
it's just funny. Like, there's certain gossip that gets really enmeshed in the culture, and then
Yeah.
like everything with Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck coming back, at least for a very specific age group. It's
Yes.
like, what the fuck is happening? At least for me, I'm like,
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
gossip. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, thank you, celebrities. But like with Anne Hathaway and her con artist ex-husband, like that's something that people have forgotten, and it's probably also because like certain stars are quieter,
Yes.
and it's like
Yeah.
a lot of a different mix of things, I guess.
Yeah.
Italian con artist.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
the Pink Panther.
I know. It was
going on?
All I kept thinking was like, girl, what were the red flags? Like?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. What
You know?
what was it exactly that you ignored?
Well, because he probably wasn't even Italian. One time, he's like, "Can I have a beer?" I mean, I want a beer, please.
Definitely. And she
Una
was like,
Peroni, please.
What just happened there? And he was like, nothing. It was nothing.
Yeah,
I had a
yeah,
little bit of a cold.
yeah. My mother used to make gravy. The brown stuff. The brown stuff. Oh no, the marinara. The gravy marinara.
I do, but so Yeah, I mean, you're asking for a Wild Thing situation. If you're sending cheerleaders to a teacher's house, a single male teacher's house, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh, we're bouncy. Oh my God, we're all wearing. It's her and a friend, right?
Yes.
And like with some curly hair that we barely see and doesn't matter. But it's like, oh, we're both wearing white. Ooh,
Yeah.
oh, spring the hose.
With this, so I want it. I know what I want.
Yes, that's right.
This big chunky, like, because for every like slinky saxophone, sex good, like, there's 2 Morphine songs on this, as if you needed to fucking amp it up more. And then the other stuff is big chunky guitar shit like this. And why can't we be friends?
I do love I also love the 2 fat kids playing basketball.
Oh my God.
These kids, they are talking about this car wash.
Of course they
for
are.
the rest of the summer. Are you kidding me? This was
And
the
then
summer
I saw
those
her
2 kids.
nipples, like, oh my God.
The mom is like, well, Jimmy and Tommy, you never play basketball. We love it. We love basketball.
Basketball's great. I love being outside.
They're fucking that ball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how, but they're
figuring it out. A teenage boy, a preteen boy like that, he will figure out how to fuck a basketball.
Dribbling with an erection, is that like traveling or is that allowed?
I think it's fine.
That's a fucking technical foul, dude. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, it just depends on how hard you're playing defense. You want to lean off then, if that's the case. But so like,
Do
Tori.
you think? Sorry, but do you think the friend in this situation, the friend of Kelly's here, she can't be hip to what's going on?
She knows that she wants to fuck, right?
Yes.
She's like, go on ahead.
Yes.
I'm staying here dripping wet.
Are you sure? Okay, I guess I'll go to my 4-H club meeting.
And it's like, oh, let me know how that dick be hanging, girl.
Well, they're going to another house afterwards. She's like going to go. They're going to go soap up somewhere else together.
Sure.
But this one, like, wouldn't this lady be called? Like, she was like, "Go ahead, leave, get out of here. I'm going to go in and."
Yeah. Now,
do a little.
The guy at the next house is calling the school. There were supposed to be 2 cheerleaders here. There's only 1.
First of all, they're already wet, so I'm not tipping anybody.
You're sending me used cheerleaders.
I have 2.
Oh my God.
I have 2 coupons. 2 coupons here.
Yeah, 2 coupons.
But I mean, also like this guy, Matt Dillon, Sam Lombardo, great name by the way. That and Ray Duquette. If I have an alternate identity, it might be Ray Duquette.
I was like, first of all, what the fuck is his name? And then also, who thought that fit Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Ray Duquette should be a fat guy.
Yeah,
right?
Ray Duquette sounds like a fat guy and he's eating his po' boys.
Celebrity chef.
But you can't be showing a fat guy's dick. Like, if you're asking John Goodman to be Ray Duquette and he has to show his penis coming out of the shower.
I might tune into that episode.
I might be into it, but
first
like,
of all, Super Troopers pulled that off with Farva there.
Also, have you ever seen Seven? The film Seven?
But those are supposed to be sexy.
That's a dead fat guy penis,
You know
though,
what?
isn't it?
right?
We need fat dudes' dick like sexually portrayed.
I'm
It's
into
time.
it, Eric,
It's
but I
time.
don't think you can sell it. That's my thing.
Well,
here. I'm going to talk for the producers.
Depends on
this
how
one.
tasteful it is.
Yes,
See,
I
that's
guess so.
why-
on how it's played.
Yeah.
That's why Mandalay Pictures should still be around. Because
I
here's the other thing.
cackled seeing that too.
Dude,
Oh, the tiger.
It's a
Yeah.
time travel with that fucking tiger. But the music that plays over
Yeah.
it is so appropriate for you're about to watch Wild Things. It's
Yes.
Da-da-da.
Yep.
I love. All right, so Angelica, you're dating a man because Barbara Baxter wakes up. They've had sex. Probably she stayed over. We don't know what happened last night. You're like you have
Assuming we're all assuming.
You're dating somebody, you have brunch plans. You're about to leave, and the dude you're dating has 2 cheerleaders in his driveway. Are you like just? I think I would have words. You might have words about that.
Or I
was
might
like-
hang out, right? Like just let's see what goes on here.
Oh, you know what, honey? You know, maybe I'll cook some breakfast over here. How about that?
Yeah.
And then I'd be looking like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I'd be like, I don't really fuck with cops, but it'd be like, boop, boop, boop. This motherfucker fucking some kids.
Exactly. Because he's there. You're
But
just
it's presented as like he didn't really want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like,
she just leaves like, well, I'll see you later, dude. Bye. Enjoy these two 17 to 18-year-old girls in your driveway.
But this is all part of the genius plan.
It is. I mean, it is. That's fair.
The genius inner workings and layers. Layers like an onion.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
what if it happened if she was like, yeah, I'm going to stay for breakfast? Yeah. Sorry, I have to take a shit real quick, Sam. It will be a very long shit while these two girls are washing your car. That's how long it's going to be. I don't know what's going on. Chorizo last night, remember?
Come on.
Wow.
But Kelly goes in, Barbara Baxter leaves, blah, blah, blah. She goes in. We get a nice fade to black, which I like the fade to black. Because I like that this movie does keep you kind of guessing if you hadn't seen it before.
Yes.
And then it comes out, and then she runs out.
This Denise Richards shot, though, this was like where the VHS tape was getting broken, I think, for a lot of folks initially.
All white, dripping wet.
Because it starts with the floor, and you're just seeing like the water dripping, and it just goes up, and you're like, what's going on in this movie? And then the fade out happens.
And then she comes out, like something's torn, she's upset. The fat kids definitely see her playing basketball. Yes,
She runs down the street.
There's a dude like doing some yard work like across the street, like, hey, where's that cheerleader going? My car. Hey.
And then this is when like basically the plot gets initiated, in which she stays home from school and she tells her mother that she was raped.
Well, we have to break down the scene because
Please.
It's like Denise Richards, her character's name is Kelly, but I'm going to say Denise Richards, which gorgeous woman. We'll talk about it when it needs to be talked about, but this was not just a bisexual awakening for me. It was a bisexual awakening for the friend I was hanging out before that. I was like, yeah, I have to finish watching Wild Things. And she was like, oh, yeah, that was a bisexual awakening for me. And I was like, yeah, me too, girl. I'm like, damn, we're the same age, right? But what's funny about that scene is that, I mean, Steve hit the major beats with it, but it's like she's shooting with a shotgun outside. Skeet shooting. Yeah. Because her mom was like fucking the dude and then gets this call, titties flying, holding her heels, like really riding this dick hard.
Really going to Pound Town on Mr. Condo here.
And she's cursing like a motherfucker. She's just like on this dick. Gets a call from the school and it's like, your son or daughter didn't attend school today or whatever. And then she sees Denise Richards outside and then they go inside and Theresa Russell is in this film is a terrible mother because she says shit like they start talking about the dead father / husband. And like Theresa Russell says it in such a weird way, but she was like, he didn't have to kill himself. And I was just like, okay. And then like, Denise Richards is feeling like in her emotions and crying. And like, she goes, do you need a Valium? And it's like, Mom, like I'm what?
And when she says, I miss Dad, Theresa Russell goes, Jesus Christ.
Here we go again.
And the suicide is pretty fresh, you find out. It's like at least a year and change.
It was just that previous summer.
I mean, like,
it was literally a few months ago, and Theresa Russell was like, thank God. When she was saying, like, oh, we don't know why he did that. I'm like, all I kept thinking was, no, you killed him. I don't believe this motherfucker killed himself.
Okay.
You just
See, they've made now 3 sequels to this movie, but that is the
Really?
prequel.
wait,
I want.
what?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. There's Wild Things 2, Wild Things 3, something.
Different people,
completely different.
Different
completely
cast, but are the characters are probably different too.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's different.
It's just teen sex.
It's
sequels.
pretty much. It's most of these plots are like it's 2 high school girls doing something, or like 2 college girls doing something else. But the like 3rd sequel, part 4, is definitely Wild Things : the foursome or something like that. And it's like one dude and 3 ladies, and something goes down, and then like wild things occur.
Note to self: watch list. Put that on there.
I mean, the second one starts the same exact way as this one. Like literally the auditorium, the whole thing
Really?
is the same
Smash
exact
Mouth
thing.
is playing.
Yeah, like a second rate, like a tin heart or something.
I would wager that much like the Cruel Intentions series, it just gets pornier and pornier.
It's got to be.
Doesn't though.
Oh,
No,
no,
The second one
That
isn't
fucking
that porny.
sucks.
It's like weirdly more reserved, and it looks worse.
Well, I'm sure it does.
It's
yeah.
just. I mean, I think the actress from the In Crowd is in it.
That makes sense.
Not
what?
great.
Oh, that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Not good.
But yeah, so she reveals that, Sam Lombardo raped me,
Mhm.
and that's when you see Sam Lombardo with the principal talking about, like, just hanging out, talking about some barracuda
And
fish.
a black principal.
Of course.
Surprise.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the administrative role. That's where a black actor.
We didn't have a black police chief, so he had to be the principal. That's right. There might have been a nurse. She could have also been black.
That's
It's
also-
interesting though, because we don't get like whoever the chief is. The closest is like the guy from Scandal, and is he part of the team in The Fugitive and U.S. Marshals?
Possibly.
Yeah, he was just around. And
Yeah,
just
big character actor.
Yeah.
He's the dude on Scandal that's like cool with his husband being murdered and that whole thing.
Yeah, everybody was a mess on that show and okay
Big
with
time.
people getting murdered and then fucking a president that
I
was
got through
terrible.
like 4 seasons of that.
Jeff
show.
Perry.
Yeah,
is
I
the
really
gentleman's
watched it.
name.
I'd never watched, like, I know what happened in the finale, but like, I don't think I ever actually finished it. I think I've just watched it in like weird parts.
Assassination.
No, with
Oh.
Scandal. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Yeah. Tony Goldwyn assassinated or no?
wait, he was?
No, that's what I was asking you. Is that the finale?
I was like, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
No,
So
because
probably not. Is what
No,
I'm
I'm
dropped
pretty
off
sure
after
no,
season
like-
4. Oh, okay.
That whole relationship was a mess. But my friend Lauren, and for people who are into really good culture writers, Lauren Michelle Jackson, she's an amazing human being. But she's currently watching that, and like I'll see her Instagram stories and kind of chuckle, and I was like, this show was fucking bonkers. She's also watching The Good Wife, which I watched religiously when it was
Yeah.
on air. Like
Yeah.
season 5 Hive, stand up. Yo, that death was crazy. Okay.
I love it. I love not spoiling it. Good for you.
I mean, it's actually it's one of those kind of things that happens where I'm like, like it's not a show that's permeated the culture to the point where it'd be like you would know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But I try. Some people really don't like spoilers, so I try to be kind of nice.
I appreciate it.
No,
Yeah.
that's we are a spoiler-free zone on this show.
Yeah, not really.
It's
but
my
we-
wife.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We do our
Well,
best.
not for the movies we're talking
Well,
about.
Well,
no,
no.
well, sometimes we'll mention something and we'll get a comment I'll notice.
Which is also like,
Happens.
I'm being very polite with doing that, but it's also like, if something's older than 5 years,
Yeah.
Yep.
especially like once you cross a certain time threshold, it's like you're gonna hear spoilers about things. Even just
Absolutely.
walking,
Exactly. JFK gets shot in the Zapruder film.
Yes.
Sorry.
Which is funny. They Kevin Bacon has that
Yes.
Kennedy line
Yep.
where he's
Yes.
like, or no, Matt Dillon has the Kennedy line where he's
To
like,
him, yeah.
to Kevin
Th-
Bacon,
yeah,
and
this
I
guy's
thought
got-
of you.
This guy's got too much time on his hands. Let him investigate the Kennedy assassination.
Yep.
But so yeah, she basically pretty quickly they start to investigate Matt Dillon, like what's going on. He raped this girl, but they don't arrest him right away.
No, there's lots of investigating, and like I think directly after her telling her mom, you see her with the police, and
Mhm.
they're asking questions. It's really interesting how they make the Afro-Latina detective, or the Latina detective, the mouthpiece for some interesting questions.
Yes.
Because she-
That's how you can do this.
Because she was
Yeah.
like, did you try to fight him? And I was like, wait, what are we doing? And then she's the one who's like, the moment after like Denise Richards leaves and the videotape is turned off, she's like, I think she's acting. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing. It's funny. I gotta ask you guys, like, if this was in your like back of your head while you were watching it, but like watching how this movie handles rape, which I'm gonna be honest, like I really like this movie, but I'm also like, this is kind of uncomfortable. This whole like, oh yeah, young girls using rape accusations and it's a form of power or whatever. It sort of made me think about Gone Girl and how Amy Dunn is like uses the appearance of certain patriarchal things we know fucking happens as a shield for being absolutely psychopathic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I got like strong SVU vibes where it's
Mm.
like we're just asking questions, and you know what? some of these laws, if some lady's lying, a man's life could be ruined.
Yes, and
you know what I mean? Which is like
Yeah.
really, I mean, it's very pat and like it's written by dudes, directed by dudes. It's obviously a dude's fear. You know what I mean? In big air quotes there.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very much that perspective, and the girls are in on it. It turns more into a neo noir, but this part of the movie is
It's-
very difficult in that regard.
Yeah, it is like just a little like sticky but in an interesting way, because you're also like
Yeah.
so in the thick of it, and it's like I remembered most of the major beats, but I was still like really captured by watching it.
But yeah, but you're right though. It's very much like, you know, it feels like those SVU episodes where it's like,
Yeah.
this girl's lying, and
Can I
it's
tell
like,
you,
you
though,
know,
I mean, like, Angelica, you already said it, but like, it's difficult. And we were kind of talking about this on the History of Violence episode we did. Like, it-
Great episode.
oh, thank you.
Oh, it's available on Patreon.
Patreon.com/WeHateMovies.
There it is. See, we didn't say it, folks. No,
Yeah,
but
you
like,
can't complain.
It's so fucking refreshing, like watching a movie for adults that's like difficult content. Yes, like not everything like hits the correct mark that it should, but like it's okay. Like I'm fine
Yes.
watching imperfect cinema
Me
and
too.
like fucking cinema for adults.
yeah,
should
which-
be imperfect in a way.
Yeah,
right?
totally. And like it
Morally
just,
speaking, I
it-
guess is where I'm going.
yeah, and like it doesn't exist in 2021. Like movies coming out
Ooh,
now,
yeah.
they're not like this.
Yeah. But no, you make a really good point. I feel like this episode is kind of funny though, in the sense that we're like having very high-minded talks about film, but also we're like making dick jokes. I
Yeah.
love this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's our bread and butter. So you know,
But like it is sort of interesting the way I feel like films, and I'm talking specifically American films,
Mhm.
Hollywood films,
Yeah.
want to be very morally absolute and
Yep.
like
Uh-huh.
there's not enough or any gray areas, and like the missteps are like not interesting for the work. They're more like in the Heights, we're taking place in Washington Heights, but we're not going to have a lot of Negroes in this movie, and it's like, wait,
yeah.
y'all know how Dominicans be looking, you know, they're black, right? A lot
Speaking
them
of
are
which, though,
black.
this detective is Daphne Rubin-Vega.
Yeah, she's really pretty, by the way. I was just
Yeah.
like looking at her, and I was
Mhm.
like, this is a really pretty woman. Her character is just like we were saying,
Yeah.
it's just a funny mouthpiece more than
Yeah.
anything
she
else.
has to be the one that's like, I don't know, guys.
You can easily, I mean, aside from the scene where like Matt Dillon's like kind of fake coming onto her in the hotel room,
Yeah.
like aside from that, if you replaced her with the dude, like
No
it's
difference.
Not-
the same
yeah.
character.
Yeah,
Mm.
not much of a difference, and it's
Yeah.
just like sis, do you hear yourself? like I just kept waiting for her to say, "Oh, these white bitches lying." Like, wait, what?
That would be at least something if she went there. Like, I don't know about this little white bitch. Like, that'd be at least something. You know what? All right, you know, cool.
That would have been real character.
Yeah.
So she, whatever. We're investigating, and then obviously the principal says you need to get yourself a good lawyer. Enter Bill Murray. This is like pre-Rushmore. Or Rushmore's right around here.
It's
Him and his fake neck
pre-Rushmore.
brace thing.
Yeah,
It's
Is
so
it the
great.
same year?
yeah, I think you might
Is
be
it
right.
Rushmore
Yeah.
99?
You
I thought it
might
was,
be right.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
Rushmore is 98. This
Oh,
is
okay.
Wow.
Wait,
What?
yeah. Points, right?
You know what? The points
Bam,
have been
bam,
taken. The points have been taken away from you. But this is a good like Murray performance. He's
Oh,
very
it really
fun
is.
and
He's
funny
great.
in this.
Yeah.
He's very needed in this movie. I think.
Yeah, and great little details like with the fake neck brace, and he like takes it off after looking in the window, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, there was some insurance motherfucker coming
Yeah.
right here."
Oh god, it's so like you want the sort of like if we were in like the golden age of DVDs, right?
Yes.
Like you want the
DVDs.
like you get like a side Bill Murray like 45 to 65 minute like bonus movie. Absolutely. Also television show spinoff where it's just him and his fucking law firm.
It's called Better Call Saul.
Yeah, no, I know. But like
But
Bill
you know,
Murray
it doesn't
and-
exist. Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's interesting because like he gets to Bill Murray around this movie,
Yes.
but it's like it's not a movie where you would find that Bill Murray-ness, and that's why it's fucking genius casting.
I like the moment later in the film when they come in to do the settlement with Matt Dillon. They're looking around the office, and like he's got all these photos of people also in neck braces. Like this weird ambulance chaser law firm.
And
It's
it's like
great.
they have like autographs, like they're celebrities kind of thing.
It's really weird. It's really funny. I have a note in here that just says that raccoon. LOL.
Yes,
what
yes,
the fuck
yes,
is that?
dude.
Yes, where's that? Where is that?
It's oh fuck.
I don't remember
The raccoon's like watching them fuck going.
Yes.
That's
The
what it is.
raccoon goes, "Hey girl, did you just see that shit right there?"
It's. I think it's during. Is it not when they're getting it on in the pool?
Oh,
Because it's Kevin Bacon filming, and then there's like another animal, and it cuts to this raccoon that is straight out of Ace Ventura. He's just like, wow, look at that.
I was just like, why did they do a raccoon reaction shot? Like, what
Or was
fuck?
the raccoon when Matt Dillon gets run off the road?
Yes.
Okay, that makes
Is that
more
where
sense.
it is?
Because the
Really?
raccoon
Why do
sees.
Oh, see, this is why
Maybe-
don't smoke weed, kids.
It's probably in more scenes, right? It's probably got dialogue. It's like Caddyshack all the time.
I want to find it. Let's see if I can.
What was I saying? You're gonna Google the raccoon? His IMDb
raccoon.
credit?
Yeah,
they're
see
good.
what else he was in.
Is it like The Great Outdoors? Is it gonna have the subtitles for all the fucking
I
raccoons?
love that joke.
It's so good.
Steve, I do have a note that says run off road, beaten, raccoon watches.
I think that's
Okay.
right. Yeah, I think
Okay.
The raccoon's
Yeah, okay.
like because he basically like everything's kind of whatever Gloria Van Ryan is going after him. She's got her sexy man boy that's gonna get him, and he
Mr.
Are
runs.
you
Condo.
okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? He starts punching him. It's like, wait, what? Like, what's this play acting? Just start punching him.
And I mean, obviously the whiplash alone would be bad. You're after a car accident.
I know. Like, shouldn't he actually have a neck brace? or
Yes, he
something on?
should.
Yeah, so here it is. Everyone's totally right. I found my note. Dillon getting beat up by Mr. Condo. Line. Raccoon from Ace Ventura makes an appearance. That guy's getting his ass kicked.
I saw everything.
Bill Murray calls the raccoon.
Mhm.
He's gonna take the stand.
You see,
Raccoons are
everybody?
creepy.
They're
Raccoon-
disgusting, dude. You ever see him like eat?
Their little hands
They
creep
got
me
like
out.
people hands.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
It's
They're
just
cute.
no.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
they're kind of
They are
adorable.
kinda cute,
I like
yeah.
them.
oh, we're outvoted.
Well, no, because here's the thing. It's like, the people who really think they're cute is the dudes you see like a TikTok video or some shit on YouTube where it's like, look at all my cool raccoons. And
Yes.
it's like 40 raccoons in some dude's garage.
Yes.
And they're all eating pellets out of a kiddie pool.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, it's the pellets thing, or them like if you have like one of those like cats who's somewhat outdoors or feral that you take
Yeah.
care of, and you have cat food. Like those were. My mom was like, okay, people are gonna be like, who came up with this name? And it was me. But my mom has an outdoor cat named Rasputin, aka Raz.
I like that. I
Um,
like
That's a good
that.
one.
And like he was fighting with a fucking raccoon the other day, and my mom was like, it just sounded so nasty. But I think Raz won because Raz is like apparently a very scary cat, like the kind of
really?
intense cat who's good to like kill shit around.
So is
That's
the
what I
raccoon?
want.
Do you think the raccoon was aligned with the czar, or
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And
Czarist raccoon.
whenever I think of like Rasputin, though, because of my age, I think of Anastasia, the
Yeah.
cartoon movie.
Yeah.
Which I think might have been also 1998. I don't,
It was around then,
A
yeah.
lot of shit
Before, I
came
don't
out
know.
in 1998. I think Ever
Mhm.
After came out in
It's around
1998.
then.
Godzilla, the
Oh,
Roland
yeah.
Emmerich movie.
Great year.
Come with me.
Yes, 97 Anastasia, FYI.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Sorry, everybody.
But so like he gets beaten up, so he goes to Bill Murray and he's like, listen, they're trying to ruin my life, et cetera, et cetera. We get a shot of his own Matt Dillon's house
Yeah.
and also his office. Like I know that he wants $8 million, but his life is
$8.5 million
Mhm.
dollars.
His life is kind of nice.
It's kinda
and
sick.
he's living his life like going like taking care of boats and shit, and also being at the school. But apparently, there's a line that like he's up to his eyeballs in debt.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Because I mean, his office is this real cool nautical theme. It's really big.
I think the line from Kevin Bacon explains it because, like, the woman that he's like with currently is Robert Wagner's daughter, and it's like so he's been like burning through money,
Yeah.
pretending he can like run with like high society shitty
Yeah.
white people.
Yeah, and then I think there's also something mentioned like he wanted to marry rich.
Yeah.
Sort of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Right.
Which is like, it's funny because you don't really see much of that. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really show much of that. We
Yeah.
just hear it.
yeah.
But it's like that could have been a movie in and of itself.
Yes,
him
yeah.
swindling these
Also-
white
Absolutely.
women.
If it's not working out in this one Florida town, go to another one.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Florida's big, baby.
Yeah,
Like,
But
go
you look
somewhere
back,
else.
Dillon, in 1998, dude. You could find somebody.
Exactly.
Well, that's-
Wait, do you guys find him attractive?
I think he's a good looking
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think
He's got a
he's
little
scummy
little-
good look.
It's a little bit of a caveman
That-
forehead
that's the
situation.
thing.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he looks half broken in a way, but not as much as I do.
It's an edgy good looking, I think, is the idea.
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
beer fell, y'all.
Oh, it's all.
Do. Okay, beer is picked up.
There's
Thank
something
you.
primitive about him, and that excites me. A little bit.
Yeah, I think he's not like ugly.
Sure.
He just doesn't get my motor.
Yeah, I
running.
mean, I'm
Sure.
not taking my pants off, but I'll say like, yeah, he's a good enough looking guy.
Yeah, here you
Him
go.
in
not
singles,
taking my
dude,
pants
like a
off.
1992 Matt Dillon. Look out, boy.
Oh, with the
Mm.
hair, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's great. It's great.
But so like he's like trying to, build this case and like Bill Murray's like, but there's nothing else that's gonna show up, right? And that's when Neve Campbell really comes into this movie as
Yeah.
the Susie character.
Mhm.
They go. This is when you get one of the great alligator wrestling scene, which I love. I really do like it. It's kind of
I do
cool.
too.
Do you ever take one of those? You're from Louisiana. Did you ever take one of those? I was a tourist. One of those swamp tours where you're meeting
Like,
the alligators.
I think once as a kid, but
Okay.
it's like when you're just
Yeah,
like
when you're
living
there.
by a swamp, it's kind of like I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
do y'all realize how like big the mosquitoes are in
Mhm.
fucking Louisiana? Like they can pick you up and take you away. They're huge. I wouldn't do that. But like, yeah, so Neve Campbell is reading a book, by the way, called Death on the Installment Plan.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And she's like had called the cops and doing her whole Neve Campbell, I'm an angsty goth bitch thing. And like, I need to go outside. And she's like gonna smoke her cigarette. And then she ends up saying that she was raped.
Yeah.
But the lady cop asked questions like, did you flirt with him a little? Like,
Yeah,
it's
these
like
are not the right
Not
questions.
Yeah.
For a child as well, like a 17, 18-year-old girl, you're not like, were you flirting with your teacher or what?
Yeah, well, she's like, Theresa Russell, get out of the room. And I'm
Yes.
like, isn't that her call?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was weird too. I'm like, is that legal? I don't think
Yeah,
that's
I don't
actually
think that's
legal.
good.
I mean, I guess if she's 18, because
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
that's
fucking-
right.
Right, I mean,
18.
We're on
that's the
Pornhub
thing.
now, and everyone's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
None of these
Pornhub.
step siblings in this
No
movie,
step
though.
No,
siblings.
thank God on that one.
Disappointing.
Sorry.
But so yeah, she reveals, and this is when she says, "No little bitch could ever make me come, not no little girl." So it's kind of a thing where like they're smartly doing it, where like, oh, I got one word wrong, so maybe it sounds like whatever kind of a thing.
That's also, it's a very SVU.
Yes.
Like, I'm just picturing like Ice-T analyzing audio or something. I mean, it's
Yes, yeah.
a lot of this feels
Man,
kind of
Those
SVU-ish.
Law and Order shows. I don't know if did any of you guys actually watch the new Chris Maloney show,
I couldn't,
Organized
no.
Crime?
First episode.
I watched 2.5,
Uh-huh.
which isn't that much more now that I'm saying it out loud. But what the fuck is going on with that shit? That shit was just like incomprehensibly bad and like really weird with race. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Wait, which actor is it? Because I always get them mixed up.
Is it Dermot Mulroney?
Is it Dylan?
Dylan McDermott.
Dylan
is the
McDermott.
perfect
Yes,
guy.
Dylan
Yeah.
McDermott.
Yeah.
And he's like married to a black woman, and his ex-wife was a black woman, and like his father says some shit like, or like somebody says some shit like, oh, he was trying to piss off his racist daddy, and that's why he be fucking black women. I'm like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on in this show?
It's very weird. Also, like on top of all that, they broke the formula.
Yeah.
Like it's called Law and Order, whatever the fuck, Mafia Division or whatever.
Organized crime, I think.
Yeah, but-
don't call me.
But it doesn't play. There's no dung dung.
Oh,
There's,
come
It's
on.
not shot
what's
like
the
a Law and
point
Order.
then?
What am I doing?
It feels weird. It just feels really strange. But Olivia
Yeah.
Benson has shown up, and like
Yeah.
she has. There was a scene. I think I'm so crossfaded right now, and I have so much left to do tonight. Y'all pray for this bitch. Let me go drink some water. But like, I think he confesses his love to her, and
Oh,
like his
come on.
children are around, and it cuts to all. And I
It's-
was like, what
yeah.
the fuck is happening?
It's a weird, like, because also the other thing is like he's a free agent in this show because the
Yeah.
wife is murdered in the pilot.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's trying to solve her murder like
Yes.
sort of with
Yeah.
Moving
this
on pretty
mafia
quick,
shit.
dude. Yeah.
Because it's one of those like he's been in Italy like dealing
Sure.
with the mafia,
which is funny in and of itself.
that's the show I kind of want. Is like he's just over there
On a
fish out of water
gondola,
thing.
hit
Yeah,
people.
did-
yeah, I'm imagining him his ass cheeks popping, some shades on, just standing in the gondola.
Yeah, he guest stars in an episode of Gomorrah.
There you go.
I could never watch Law and Order in general just because I'm just like, God, lay off these criminals.
It's
It's terrible.
Because it's just like it's the
Yes.
oppressive hand of the state. Oh, that's fun. Let me turn that on.
The
Yeah.
Orbach Watterson years are like I watch it for Orbach and Watterson.
And if you
but,
root for the criminals, it's kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
When you're just like, oh, dude, he asked
Do
for a
they-
lawyer. Good move, man.
Do they get away?
Some of
I
them,
mean,
yeah,
some of them do.
Yeah.
Some of,
Oh, I-
It's like a
including-
30% success rate for the criminals.
Depends
Okay,
on
all
what
right.
level of celebrity you
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
yeah.
And like at the end of the episode, Sam Watterson's like, I can't believe they beat us. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, eat shit.
Yeah, because it's like the prison system.
Mhm.
Let's end that shit.
Mhm.
Let's end all this
absolutely.
shit. Like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna hear a crinkling of plastic because I'm gonna eat an edible.
That sounds a good
That's
idea.
good.
A
Lollipop
little
edible.
lollipop.
Put it
I
into the mic.
think it's
There we go.
Oh, now we're
Yeah.
getting to
That's what-
ASMR. Here
Usually,
we go.
usually it's a beer crack. This is different.
Speaking of
I
which,
love
give me that
weed.
bottle opener you got
Sure.
while we're doing this.
Where were we with this?
So
Yeah.
we were.
So Neve Campbell is just also.
Oh, yeah,
waiting.
yeah.
so we're
yes,
getting
yes.
into the court
now it's
shit.
the trial.
Yes,
basically.
court
And
case.
Can I say one thing that I think is rad about the way that this movie is constructed is that like it eliminates certain scenes that like would be in the story were it another movie. Like you never see Matt Dillon get arrested.
No.
Like it just cuts and like he's in like the prison clothes, the jail clothes
Yeah.
or whatever.
Blue. It's like a periwinkle.
Yeah, oh, it's a pretty nice prison outfit, I have
know,
to say.
yeah. Huh.
So it's kind of great like that. Like there's another cut before that where it just jumps ahead and he's like, now my life's ruined. But you never
Yes.
see like any of that. You never like there's the hilarious like someone throws a paper plane through his office window and it's like he's a sex criminal doodle that's on it.
Yeah.
Like that's how he finds out. And then it's like cut. Now my life has been destroyed. You don't have the scenes of like, there's no montage of like, oh my God, shit, what happened to Matt Dillon? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Thank
like him
God.
walking down the the hallway in high school and
Yep.
like there's whispering and it's slow mo. Oh, I'm just thinking of The Craft.
But Neve Campbell is like walking straight off the craft set,
Sure.
like in this movie.
She
like
like
same
when- it literally
same,
was like do
costumes and
do
whatnot.
lipstick. Okay, hair. Okay, let's go. Like she really was. Also
Mhm.
The Craft. Oh my God. I like y'all know I love that movie.
I'm
I'm just
Recently rewatched it. The Casa de Jupin, fucking great ass movie.
it's like I fucking love it. I was just the perfect I mean, I have pinnacle fucking
Mhm.
earrings right now. Like
Pretty
I do
rad,
that
by
witch
the way.
shit. Thank you.
Are those glow in the dark?
No, but wouldn't that be fabulous?
It looks like they
Yeah.
could. It's like glow in the dark material a little
Yeah,
bit.
it
It's like
kinda
that weird, like
does.
white gray.
Yeah, but like The Craft, man, that hit a sweet spot. Like I think the 90s in American cinema was just super fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of corners, and there's no corners anymore. You know what I mean? Like
There's
you can't.
no corners.
It's all just Broadway. You know what I mean? There's no alleyways. There's no corners.
Totally.
We should do The Craft sometime. You
We
come back.
should.
Absolutely.
I would love to do The Craft because like I mean, I'm obsessed with Fairuza Balk and Rachel
She got a raw
True
deal,
also.
I feel.
Yeah.
Fairuza Balk, I think, has some of the most fascinating energy on screen I've
Mhm.
seen in the last few decades.
Mhm.
Like, there's, I say this all the time lately because it's so fucking true, but we do not have stars anymore. But what's interesting sometimes is to see the people who probably could have been,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but because of like, they weren't playing by Hollywood rules or they
Yeah.
didn't look exactly the way they needed to by Hollywood standards. But Fairuza Balk had just like really interesting magnetic energy to me and just
Yeah.
like she's fucking intense and like that smile of hers is so like devastating.
It's she can look like devious as fuck though, which is
oh my
great.
God. And I'm getting like a lady boner over cinema right now.
Excellent. Let me ask you this:
I
Did
love
you
this
did
shit.
you check out that? I mean, it's not. It's like a continuation. It's not like a
Mm.
sequel.
The show.
That crap. No, not the show.
No, it
the
was a
movie that came
movie.
out. Yeah. Did you watch that?
I couldn't even finish it. It was kind
Really?
of boring.
There's a sequel to
Yeah.
The Craft.
It came out like last year. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. It's with younger. It's funny because like some real witches were like consultants on the movie
Is
that
that
I know,
right?
like including the witch who does the podcast, The Witch Wave, which is a really, if you're interested in paganism and like weird goth shit as well, like that's like kind of the perfect podcast for you. Because she interviews a lot of really interesting people. I think she may have actually interviewed Rachel True from The Craft.
That would make
Oh,
sense.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she does tarot shit and
Uh-huh.
like it's, I think, sort of weirdly plugged into that scene.
Some of the actors from the first movie return, though.
Yes, they
right?
do. But again, when I say I barely watched any of this movie, I was like, oh yeah, this isn't for me, and that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm not gonna watch this.
Got
Like,
it.
So the
Got
motion
it.
picture Wild thing.
Sure.
There is a court case where Bill Murray is like trying, he leans on Denise Richards. I do love when Denise Richards says that Sam Lombardo raped me on the floor of his shitty
His
house.
shitty
I
house.
And I was like, it's a pretty nice house. I don't know. I mean,
But
like,
But she's
everyone
this
there-
rich white girl, piece of shit, high
Yeah,
in
yeah.
society.
And that's why it rings of truth for everyone in that courtroom, because they're like, oh my God, it must be a shitty house.
they were like, ooh, ah, ooh.
objection, Your Honor. The house is pretty nice. It does have a pool. Objection. It does.
I
I
Clean
mean,
and
who
clean.
doesn't have? I mean, most people
Yeah.
have pools. In
oh,
that
right.
I
It's
got
fucking Florida. That's right.
Yeah.
But then Neve Campbell gets on the stand and Bill Murray tears her down. And it turns out that she always calls Sam Lombardo when she's in trouble. And she did even after the alleged rape happened. So it's like,
Right.
we gotcha. And then she breaks on the stand and
I
Denise
love
Richards
her.
throws the fucking.
Right.
the-
She says it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even, wasn't even her idea. Kelly put everyone up to
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
I love
You
the judge.
fucking bitch.
Yep. I love the judge. Speaking of fucking bitch, the judge who has no time for profanity in the
Oh
courtroom.
yeah.
It's kind of great. She's got a little like back and forth with Neve Campbell about like swearing on the stand and shit.
But also this prosecutor is terrible because Bill Murray just keeps like feeding her this information. He doesn't object until she's finally like, by the way, I've been lying the whole time. You gotta object earlier, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what about all that badgering that was just happening? He's got like a fucking
Yeah.
great like.
But you gotta, when the
Midwest
badgering
accent.
first occurs, my friend, objection, badgering the witness.
Object this hoe. I'm objecting this hoe. That's what they say, right?
Yes.
But because he's like asking her, like, did Lombardo rape you? And then she's like, give me a sec. Give me a goddamn minute.
Yep.
And I was just like, okay, girl. I was like, this is so great. This is like so fucking ridiculous. And it's just like, I'm a little goth girl and I'm just looking at my hands and I'm so awkward. I can't do it. And then she spills the beans and gets a glass thrown at, like,
I would
miss, but
afterwards,
was thrown
when
at
we're
her.
all in on it together, I'm like, yo, Kelly, that could have got me, man.
Yep,
I would've-
yep.
I mean, maybe that's why that slap fight happened.
Ooh,
We'll
yeah.
get to that.
Yeah.
Because it's like this was choreopgraphed like to a T. There is no room for improv in this scam. You can't be throwing
But
shit
you
at
gotta
me.
make it look convincing, right?
Sure.
You fucking cunt.
Yes.
Like, I think
That would've
cunt
been
was
better.
said at least once in this
Yes.
movie.
There's one.
It's dropped in the motion picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Bobby Wagner trying to get a
Dude.
word in, just like, excuse
Oh,
me,
dude.
judge.
Dude.
I am a rich person and
Yep.
I would like to have my words said here. Get the fuck back
It
here.
turns into
I know, I love
Caddyshack
that.
for 3 minutes, and it rules.
I like thought that was so fucking funny. I was like, you fucking rich white people are so entitled. You think you can just like stand up and start talking and like someone would like,
Yeah.
yes, he is a rich white man. We got to.
Your Honor, I'm
Dismissed.
also a lawyer. Excuse me. Any lawyer can participate in lawyering, right?
So basically, the charges get thrown out, and now he has a sick civil suit against them, which they settle immediately, kind of a
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And
I love Bill Murray. They're driving
Yes.
over the bay or whatever, and he's giving the fucking finger out the car window at them in the limo. Oh, it's great because it's a great juxtaposition, like their limo, and they're all fighting in the fucking limo and everything. And then Bill Murray's driving this like shitbox car, and he's just giving the finger. Totally great.
But Matt Dillon does good job of like fake bad acting of like, I guess my life is ruined now.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, as an actor, he's doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
it's bad. Like he's just like, I guess I'll never teach again. Hang on.
Oh, I lost my house. Where am I going to stay tonight? maybe that Fleabag motel with 2 high schoolers.
I know.
Exactly. I guess that'll have to do.
Well, it's interesting. Like, I would love to know, like, what was filmed when.
Yeah.
Right? Because very few movies are filmed chronologically. But, like, one of the things the trivia will tell you is that, like, some of the actors in the movie were having trouble with all the twists and turns because they didn't know, like, what they should be thinking and how they were supposed to, like, express certain things, because it was like, what do I know and when do I know it?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that confusion going on. So actually, Matt Dillon's performance here could not, it's potentially a thing where it's not as calculated as you think it is. He's legitimately confused as to what's going on.
That makes sense. So
It works.
My favorite thing is Bill Murray wiping his body with this legal brief.
Yeah. You feel like this is
club.
It's Bill Murray taking it for a walk.
Oh,
right
absolutely.
Here. He's wiping his ass and it's all
His
over his
underarm.
crotch.
Yes.
Yep.
This is my favorite flavor of Bill Murray. On the sideline, not quite on the spotlight, but just on like Rushmore era, like this kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing, is Rushmore led to him being a lead, and I'm like, nah,
No.
dude, just
No,
be
no,
like,
It gets a little tough.
be the spice of the chili. That's like everyone's like, ooh, this is delicious.
Only with Jim Jarmusch.
Yeah.
Then it works almost anywhere else. I don't know.
It didn't work with The Man Who Knew Too Little. Remember that one?
Oof.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
No one does.
Barely.
Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
Was
but
that this year too? I feel like that was around this.
I think
too.
that was a
Going on
little.
in 90s.
That was
That's gotta
not
be earlier.
2021, Chris.
I apologize.
I know it's been a long pandemic,
It has though,
Yeah.
y'all. Like, Lord have
but
mercy.
it's
Yeah.
definitely 90s though.
Yeah.
But so like basically like he gets this big fat check and he goes back, and this is when the movie turns, and every 14-year-old in the audience, which at least was 2, their eyes perk up because it's the threesome scene where
Ooh,
and you don't-
baby, we got to break it all down.
we do, because
Yep.
it's just Matt Dillon. You still think he's a good guy in quotation marks, and then Kelly has like something that could be a gun, but it's a champagne bottle.
Pop that
It's-
champagne and popping other things.
It's
Mm.
kind of great because can I tell you right now, this happened with, it happened actually with A History of Violence. It was a movie that I had not rewatched it in however long.
Sure.
So I totally forgot what happened in it. And I forgot what happened in this movie also. So like so much of this rewatch I had last night was me experiencing it like for the first time almost. I like when it, like, cause she's in the hotel room, or it's a motel.
Yeah.
And like you
Capital
see her.
Aggressively
It's,
emotional.
it's
Motel.
aggressively a motel, yeah. And you see her, like, she's in like a mirror or something like that, and you're like, holy fuck, you know, and then she comes out and it's under a towel, and I'm like, oh shit,
Mhm.
she's gonna fucking ice this, dude. And then it's like, whoop, champagne. And literally in my living room, I was like, whoa, look at that. Wow, what a twist.
My favorite part of this, so like they start having a threesome. Yes, one, Neve Campbell reveals herself. He does put the underwear in the pocket. That tells you everything you need
And
to
you
know
s-
about this
white,
dude.
yeah.
white underwear, and like you see, like she's wearing like Mary Jane's or
Yeah.
something, and it's like, y'all were really pushing it. With this
Yes.
shit.
Little bit.
Well, his line, anybody
Ugh.
recall the line
Oh,
right
yeah,
here
yeah,
at
yeah.
the Scuzz Factory? He goes, guidance counselors get to find out all sorts of interesting things while his face is in front of her crotch. And
Yes.
you're just like, good gravy. This is a movie we got on our hands now,
Yeah.
folks.
And Neve Campbell and Denise Richards make out. And like once
hot.
there's a lot of Denise Richards nudity here. We're putting champagne on the breasts.
Yep.
But let me just say, her tits are beautiful. I'm like, I would just have my tits out too. I mean, I already do that anyway, actually. But I was just like, you know what? You're a beautiful fucking woman, Denise. She just
Absolutely.
Yeah.
those lips. I was like, damn.
How about that pool scene?
Mhm.
We'll get to that. I like had to pause for a second. I was like, oh, this is like hot as shit. Like,
See, everybody's pausing this movie. You acted like I was a scumbag, Steve.
I
Everybody's
paused it
pausing this
and I
movie.
watched it like right before I came here.
I think as
So
a
take that as
14-year-old, I was yelling up to the projection booth, hey, pause it.
Wait, take that back. Take that. Run it again. Run that reel again.
Oh yeah.
But it's awesome because my favorite part is when Matt Dillon, while threesome's really in swing, he just goes, yeah.
Yes.
Which is like such a good move. Like, and I think that's what makes this movie great. Is like, yeah, it's sexy, but like he makes it so uncomfortably scuzzy.
Dude, because he's like kind of narrating some of the action because
Yes.
he's like, all right, and now I want both of you
Yes.
to kiss each other. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's playing out the way it's going to play out.
Yeah.
We don't need the fucking play-by-play, you know.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see more of the guy. You don't see it. He's more like he's keeping it cool for most of it, but that's just a little window in there.
The champagne
Yeah.
really kind of take it to a whole nother level, though.
It's a classic act like if you've been there before, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
totally.
You're going to take everyone out of the threesome. Like, oh,
Yeah! What did you just... you know what? I'm going to put my shirt back on. That was...
Yeah, I mean, imagine someone you're fucking doing that. I would leave.
Like,
That's
all of
why-
a sudden, he starts making noises like Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That's why he can't
I'd be like,
come.
wait,
Studio.
He can't come because he ruined the moment. And they're like, stop.
no, there was a baseball game and the Marlins hit a double. He went, yeah!
Yeah! All or nothing days. Yeah.
Whatever, man. Like the movie continues on, and you kind of realize now that they're in it. They have to like pretend that they hate each other still, kind of a thing. Even and he's like, we can't. This is the one. I'm allowing one threesome, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're all going home. And like then this is when Kevin Bacon comes into the movie hard, and he's like, by the bad phrasing. But
when we do see him, he's soft as hell.
He's soft.
He is
And
soft.
if that's what it
Indeed.
looks like, soft as hell, hey, Kira Sedgwick, I get it.
Must be fun.
she's
Wow.
This is where we get the line of that he wanted to marry rich and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
And then we get the pool scene, and what my note says is a tit bath.
Yes, because I mean, so like,
And it's right there. I
I mean, it is.
I believe you.
I watched the
I wanna say that
entire
I
movie
believe you.
before 10:30 in the morning today,
I'm
love
not your
that.
math teacher. I'm not checking your work, dude.
and I wrote down tit bath.
But it does happen. Yeah. So basically, whatever. I think Kevin Bacon goes to Neve Campbell to intimidate her, and she's like smoking pot, whatever. She gets really nervous and goes to only Denise Richards, and this is the.
Did you see that creepy doll though in the corner?
I did
When-
Yes.
not.
When
What the
Kevin
fuck is
Bacon-
going on her porch?
I was like, what the fuck is that? I paused it and I was like, wait, is this like really here? Like,
Dude,
this
it's Neve
weird doll
Campbell's-
has some drawings on its face.
She's hanging out with Annabelle. That's a whole other fucking movie. I couldn't even
Again,
believe it.
this movie is so rich. You can imagine so many different avenues. It can
Wait,
go
wait,
down.
Steve, you have the VHS of this.
I do, yes.
So is there tracking errors all over it? And is there tracking errors around the doll? Are people trying to investigate the doll?
I did not watch the VHS copy because I wanted to actually revisit this movie.
you wanted
know?
to see it in you wanted to see
actually-
everything.
Yeah,
You
for-
wanted
The way
Yeah,
Steve
yeah, yeah.
McNaughton intended it to be
Exactly.
seen.
Jonathan
Exactly.
McNaughton.
Oh, Jonathan McNaughton.
Jonathan McNaughty.
Naughty. But we have to talk about the tit bath. And I think
Thank you.
like I love that tit bath because I really was thinking like because it ends up they talk on the phone with Matt Dillon's character and he tells them you just gotta continue to play the
Right.
game, calm down, hangs up on them, and eventually Neve Campbell slaps Denise Richards, and Denise Richards I think calls her, I think it's "you stupid cunt" are the exact words. And like she puts her head down in the pool and they just
Yeah.
start fighting. But it's funny, like when her head is like when Denise Richards is pressing Neve Campbell's head down into the pool, her tits are also like bouncing up and down in the water. And it's like, and
Where
like
else
she
they gonna
wears
go?
lots of sheer
Yes.
clothing. And it's like, y'all are really getting all the bang for your buck. You can,
There
huh?
are three. Her next three scenes in a row are all in bathing suits because Kevin Bacon gets her at some other pool and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, detective.
And then he's like filming them?
Yes.
Dude, yeah, he's pulling a fucking groundskeeper Willie in the bushes, recording all this. See, this is interesting, Eric, because in this scene, you wrote down Titbeth as a note.
Uh-huh.
I wrote down, what's the deal with Denise Richards' big portable phone? You see this portable phone?
It's a pool phone, my friend. I think that's why that's a
you
handle.
can fucking dip
But-
that shit right in the water. You can talk on the phone underwater. Absolutely.
Kevin Bacon does have one good line around the tit bath when she emerges from the
yes.
from the tit bath.
From the baptism.
Mhm.
Baptism.
He says,
There we go.
"Nice stroke."
Oh,
I think
yes.
he's talking to the audience.
Yeah.
The movie
A little
does
bit.
that a couple of times where it's like the characters don't acknowledge that it's like a sexual innuendo, but it's like,
It's movies for guys who like movies a little bit. just a tiny bit.
That's a specific genre. I know that because of some men I've dated.
The Spike TV contingent.
But it's kind of great. I do love that.
Oh, not that bad. I
love that Kevin Bacon
No, those are my
goes-
Deadpool boys.
Deadpool
Oh,
they would make
boys.
you. A listener of the show would make you watch the like a vintage tape of the Spike Movie Awards.
Man.
Remember that shit? They were actually
Yeah.
trying to be like an MTV. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
owned by that, right? So whatever.
yeah, it's all Viacom.
Or,
I don't
it's
remember
Paramount now.
that.
The
Yeah,
Paramount
I don't
Network.
remember that though. They had an
Oh,
award ceremony.
They had
Yep.
award. They had a lot of original programming. It was
Mhm.
wild.
You know how I know? Because I remember once watching I'm pretty sure it was Spike TV Awards, and they gave an award for like Fight Club for like some reason, like
Sure.
like best.
Best
Movie
film
of
that
all
takes
time.
down the credit card company.
I don't know. And I remember Brad Pitt and Edward Norton coming out, and I was like,
They fucking turned out for that award
Yeah,
ceremony.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Spike TV or one of
Yes.
those like
Yeah.
really random networks. Because I remember being like, did you guys just want to go out for drinks? And we're like, oh, like it's actually the bar is right near the award show. Let's just go there. It was just fucking weird.
That's amazing.
I feel if it's like it's Pitt and Norton and they're like, oh, we're gonna win this fucking dumbass thing. How hilarious will it be to just go and accept this stupid nothing award? I bet you $1,000.
And then they got a great dinner afterwards.
I'm sure.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Probably some good drugs.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's bringing that good weed, guaranteed.
So like this is when his detective chief is like, stop filming two girls that are barely 18 making out. Stop breaking onto compounds and
Dude, this dude
Because
freaking
he's watching
out.
it at
Yes,
work.
exactly.
I love the freak out trying to get the fucking VCR to turn off. It so reminded me of there was a field trip situation in high school where it was like you're putting the VHS tapes into,
Sure.
and then the bus is playing whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And it was like whatever recorded off, Fox playing some movie. Accidental pornography slip happened.
Oh, that's a problem.
And you just saw this teacher fucking jump up. No, like pressing the stop button. There was pornography on a bus field trip ride. It was fucking great. Absolutely great.
School.
But so more and more happens. This is when
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
wow.
when
And then the
Nev
movie's over.
Nev Campbell gets killed here. Sort of. They're like, okay, I guess we have to like.
Wait, great thing. Because after the taping happens and he's getting yelled at work, this is where Matt Dillon is at the police station,
Yeah.
and it's the Matt Dillon Kevin Bacon fucking yell off.
Yeah.
And he calls
Cocksucker.
Yeah, and dude, Kevin Bacon getting called a fucking piece of shit by Matt Dillon while Dillon is like already down the hallway.
Yeah.
Dillon wins this argument so hard. It is the funniest. Oh yeah, well,
Can you say that to my
say
face?
to my
I mean, he kind of did.
He
Yeah.
definitely
It's the
just
same
did.
He
room.
literally was in your face,
Yeah,
bitch. He
it's
was
up to-
looking right at you.
It's up to you at that point. He said it to your face, dude.
So you gotta be about that life or be about that life. But you're a cop, so I mean, you're already beating people up as we figure out and do other
Oh,
things.
absolutely. But you got this fucking beat cop, like just officer
Yes.
in uniform dude standing there, and he's like, "The fuck you looking at? Yeah, Kevin Bacon."
And then we get to Sam Lombardo beating Nev Campbell to death with the champagne bottle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Nev is
there's a better way to kill somebody. I think.
a much better way. And Nev Campbell is like drunk acting during this
Yeah,
period. And there's like
yeah.
that point of view shot where it's like she's looking at the stars and they're all like blurry. And then
We're doing some weird stuff with the camera there.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting choice. I was like, why point of view shot? Okay, I guess we're doing that.
I love the shot of the bottle.
Yes,
like
and
the blood
that's a
spurt.
really
It
specific
fucking rules.
shot.
and the splash of
Yeah,
blood
yeah,
right
yeah,
after
yeah.
it, which is obviously like couldn't happen, but it's cool to
It's
look
one
at.
of like the few images that are really like
Yes.
one of my bigger problems with the movie. I don't think it's particularly well directed, but
Yeah.
I agree.
but that is one moment. I was
Those like
shit.
flourishes though,
Yeah.
because even with the stars, like it's cheap or whatever, but it's like it's something.
yeah.
And even because like this level of these kinds of movies, you don't get those flourishes like really at all. So
Yeah.
I'll take anything I can get. Because
Sure.
with the stars, I was like, well, look at that. That's great. You're doing something. But then the bottle and the spurt happens
Yeah,
like
it was
right
just
after.
very graphic and dynamic visually.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
get this whole like we're burying the body in the swamp, but who's this for? Who's this show for?
I think it's to fool Denise Richards, is it not?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
She's not in on it, which is this is what it gets super.
I'm getting
weird.
confused of who's in on it, who's in and who's out.
So did they switch a body out
Well, that's
like
the question,
in
because
mid
you never
like
see what-
drive like a Fast and Furious movie?
Oh, you know what happened? Here's what happened. He gets to the swamp. He brings Neve Campbell into the swamp and
Yes.
says, "Get the fuck out of
Yep.
here."
Exactly.
okay,
And
that
then he
makes
goes
sense.
back and is like, "It's done."
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, my mom's gonna be mad. I took the Range Rover."
That
I
is
was
such
like,
a great
girl.
line.
I was like, we see where your priorities are.
It's so awesome though that's what she
It's
says
so
because
telling.
it really, I mean, it's just like that is that character.
And we
It's
get
like,
DNA off of it later of Neve Campbell's blood or whatever to
Yeah.
confirm this whole.
and some teeth.
And some teeth.
Which are at the beach. We find teeth at the beach.
dude,
Teeth at the
beach
beach.
teeth.
There's the new indie rock sensation.
Yeah, totally, dude. Coming soon from Merge Records.
No,
Absolutely.
someone says that this beach has another name. Which did anyone catch it?
No.
Stoner
Stoner
Beach.
Beach.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is-
What the fuck?
yeah, dude, that's where the stoners go.
That's the place in Florida where they go to smoke weed.
Uh-huh.
And
They
it's-
found it.
It's near our hillbilly friend Walter or whatever. Who I just love this check-in with this guy who he finds dentures in the garbage.
I
and
wanted
he's-
to throw up.
he's
I
tr-
wanted to throw right
he's
up.
trying to fit them in his mouth, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to be perfect."
Dude, and then to make them fit, he's like shaving
He's
part of it.
niggling teeth.
Yeah, I'll get it to work.
He's
Oh,
like
God.
Neve Campbell's mother's boyfriend or whatever's
Ugh.
going on.
I thought it was
Was
like
cousin or
a
something.
yes.
Or
yeah, like
weird-
a
Oh, okay.
developmentally disabled.
Got
Like,
it.
They kind of lean into like he's maybe like disabled at
Got
the
it.
front of the movie,
And then at the end, he
by
says
the
some
end
stuff.
of it, they totally give up on that, which is weird
Yeah.
because he's like giving information, I think, to Kevin Bacon, and it's like he's not the same character
Sure.
he was at the beginning of the movie.
Mm.
Walter rules. He fights some alligators. It's cool. It's a cool thing to do, man.
Now we're getting to the major motion of the film, right? Like
Mm.
Kevin Bacon goes to
Denise Richards.
yes, and shoots her in the chest.
Well, it's he breaks up. He goes under a cop. The cops are like, "Don't follow this case." He's like, got it. Let me just go and shoot a girl in the chest twice, and I'll not. As I'm a cop, I won't go to jail.
Mm.
But
Look-
again, it's like it's all part
Yes,
of
it's
the
all
plan.
part of the
You know
thing.
what I mean?
Right.
It's weird to like second guess some of these moves when the
Yes.
motivation is actually
He shoots
something else.
himself in the shoulder, says, I had to return fire. I don't know about that.
I didn't get back on the case. I ended it. I mean, to be technical with you here.
I wasn't doing any investigating. I just murdered her.
Well, I guess
different.
I
But
guess
he
the-
wasn't supposed to kill her, right?
Yes, that's what you
Yes.
find out later
Yep.
is that like that wasn't part of quote unquote the plan. But I think the reason he does get even any problems at all is because he killed a white rich girl in her house.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's when they're like, dude, you know what? Fool me fucking twice.
But at the same time, the police department's like, well, you are a detective, so you know what? Just resign.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
That's fine.
And that's just what has happened hundreds, if not thousands of times.
You know, go a couple precincts over, they'll rehire you. Don't you worry. You're
the
fine,
police are
baby.
just as bad as the Catholic Church, man. You're just moving these motherfuckers around.
Yeah.
and
You're
whatnot.
fine.
All right, you know what, dude? I cannot believe you killed another child. You are not allowed at the Christmas party for 3 years. That is, I swear to God, you kill one more kid, it's going to be a decade.
Look, we were going to do that fun video where we parodied cop rock, and now you can't be a part of it. We're going to have so much fucking fun singing those songs, and you are not going to be a part of it.
You get stepping. You're going to go to Rokokomo. That's where you're going to be stationed next week, okay?
And here's where the police find Teeth Beach.
They
And they
do.
wrap it all together. That Denise Richards killed Neve Campbell.
yes.
Open and shut.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, that's it. Let's wrap it up, boys. This
Yep.
makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like, oh, I guess everything worked out, and that one skeezy detective wasn't part of it. Cool.
Yeah.
There is a weird thing that happens, and it's fucking dumb because like my biggest beef with this movie, I despise all of the scenes you get post the end title card
Yeah.
where they're
Mm.
really spelling it out and you're seeing all this shit. But there's an error in one of them because like I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but like when Bacon meets up with
mean,
Dillon at the end of it,
We're pretty much there.
Yeah, we are.
yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
let's
so.
just get-
And
dive
so
in.
he's like, he comes out of the shower and he's got the arm injury, and he says to Kevin Dillon, Matt Dillon, my God, he's like, oh, your girl there with her aim or something like that.
Yeah.
He's complaining about the injury. Then in that dumbass scene, you see him shoot himself.
No, because he knows that Matt Dillon's not going to be happy that he killed his girlfriend. Like, because Matt
Oh,
Dillon.
you think he's lying, right? Oh, is
Yeah,
that what it
because
is?
Matt Dillon's pissed.
That
He's
makes
like,
sense.
you weren't
Okay.
supposed to kill Kelly. We were supposed to just frame her. And then, I mean, first of all, the dick we'll talk about in a second, but
It's an exquisite penis.
He's
by the
lucky
way.
to get shot in the dick.
That's what
I mean,
bam, bam.
flopping
I mean,
around.
that's hitting the broadside of a barn, dude. That's what that is. You see that penis?
Yeah, for all I know, it could have been up by his shoulder during the time of the shooting.
I would have been
Just
shot.
slung it over.
Yeah,
Up
exactly.
around his shoulder.
It would have been great if they just started making out. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I would have
a
been
little
like,
something for the
ooh.
ladies,
That's,
right?
Come on.
The scene has that vibe. Of
It
like, let me
does.
give you this towel and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've all, the four of us have been on the road a lot. I've never seen any of your penises. We're not just like shower buds. You know what I mean? That's
No, we
Yeah.
stay in separate hotel rooms
Exactly.
on the road.
Now we do.
I'm
Yeah.
not like that with any of my friends where it's like, oh, I'm just getting out of the shower. Ooh, little tits, a little bad.
Yeah, like I'm just totally naked in front of my friends. Get the fuck out of here.
That seems like you be fucking your friend.
Exactly.
Which is you
Yeah,
be
like
fucking
Chris
your
Cabin,
friend.
get out of my bathroom.
Well, yeah, if Kevin Bacon, he wants to fuck him. Like,
Yeah,
if you're stepping out of the shower like this, you're saying,
And
Matt
how-
Dillon, I would like you
Yep.
to touch my penis, my very large
Absolutely.
penis.
How hot would that be if there was just this fucking orgy?
It would
in
be
this movie?
fantastic. That would really push this thing up the
This movie
hill.
would
This
achieve legendary status if that
That
happened.
If they
We're
all
flirting
fucked
with-
once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ken
Yep.
Russell kind of shit.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah.
Then we're getting there.
That's
but
true.
I love that it's a big problem because Matt Dillon's like, okay, yeah, man, you're gonna get your money tomorrow. Hey, really, real quick, you want to go on my boat real quick? And motherfucker, again, I
Lifetime
never,
movie rules.
I
Yeah.
never got on anyone's
Yep.
motherfucking boat, dude.
Uh-huh.
This is what happens on boats.
No, but seriously, like if you're in a Lifetime movie and
Yeah.
someone's like, get on a boat, girl, you run. Like, just run.
Absolutely. Also, I mean, I'm
Also
sorry.
in real life, I don't
Yes,
think
yeah.
if someone was like, hey girl, like it's been fun. I told you some dark secrets and shit. I have a boat. Do you want to get on a boat? And I'd be like, I'm a good swimmer, but I'm not. No.
I'd get on the boat.
Yeah, you're
I feel
that
like
type-
I could fix the situation.
No,
you
like
know, Eric, living on the wild side.
speedboats are cursed. You can't get on them. Pontoon boats, maybe they're more family oriented.
Yeah.
I don't think you're trying to kill
Yeah.
anybody on those things.
But here's the thing:
Oh.
my wife's grandfather has a boat. We go on it occasionally, but it's like a thing where like 4 or 5 people on the boat together. If he was ever like, you know, Stephen, the ladies are going out for brunch tomorrow. Would you
Yep.
like to just join me alone on the boat? I'm like, absolutely fucking not.
Can I tell you, I lived through like an anxiety attack of that exact situation.
Mhm.
Where so I grew up near a river, and like a lot of folks in my family like had boats and whatnot, and they were all like at the same marina, and it was like that's what we did.
Sure.
And there was one time where like my uncle was like, "Oh, we'll just go out on the boat. Well, let's go out." And I was like, "Well, who else is going?" He was like, "Oh, nobody. Everybody's busy. We'll just go out on the boat." And I was like, "So I've known this guy like my whole life, but will he murder me on this
Of
boat?" Like,
course.
I was
Could.
fucking losing it, dude. I was absolutely.
You can make
losing
up any story you want on a boat. Oh, he fell over. Oh my God.
We saw what happened with Natalie Wood.
I was just gonna say
Exactly.
Robert Wagner is in this movie.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, don't get on that boat.
But he does get on the boat, and like Matt Dillon's like, "Hey man, what do you nautical terms? Why don't you go down and fix the winch or whatever?" And he's like, "Ha ha, we're just 2 dudes on a boat. You're not gonna murder me, right?"
Want
By the way,
to jerk each
Yep.
other off later? Like
yes, I think that's what's
That's
gonna
when
happen.
some prime 69ing should have.
Maybe
occurred,
that's
by
what
the way.
hot.
that's what Bacon's motivation is. Like, all right, maybe he doesn't want to fuck in the hotel. Maybe he wants to fuck in the boat.
If we're out on the high seas, international
Oh.
waters.
yeah,
He's
Both
really into
fucking.
white squall role play.
Come on.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
This scene was it reminded me and sort of like inspired me to rewatch Knife in the Water,
Oh.
Mm.
Ooh.
another movie where there's like fucking shenanigans on a sailboat. And you can't be fucking taking strangers on a boat.
now
Also,
that director, he could come.
Pretty
that
troublesome.
guy, yeah, big old piece of shit.
But he winds up getting shot with arrows by Neve Campbell, who's still
And-
alive.
The worst
Thank you.
wig I have seen in maybe
Pretty
one of
bad.
just the worst wigs in
Yes.
cinema. Actually,
It's exquisitely terrible.
I was like, who hates her?
It would be what she's got this dumb red hair anyway. Just take that dye out. Then she has her regular Neve Campbell
And
hair.
you can do a pixie cut
Sure.
or something.
But
Even-
here's the thing, like it's the same reason. I mean, like different parts of the trivia say different things, but like a lot of why she's like with the wigs and why she's like not nude in this movie was because at the same time this movie was out, she was still on Party of Five.
Yeah.
And it was
Oh,
that's a family drama. We can't be fucking around with you
being naked,
flashing breasts and whatnot, and messing with your hair, like because we got to shoot this show. kind of a
At
thing.
least the wig got a second life in that SNL mom jeans.
Wow.
They got
It is
it
on
got
that
to
one.
it was around that area.
It's a
Like-
Susan Powder-esque blonde wig.
Indeed.
Oh, geez, there! Look at my fucking haircut. Like that's
Yes.
that haircut goes with that accent.
It's not super sexy. Neve Campbell looks great in this movie, but it's like, how old is she? She 50? No, she's not. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on? And she, she goes over and she's like, I've got because she gives him some whiskey on
Yes.
the
Yep.
rocks, and then
Yeah.
she has a cocktail for herself, and he starts, he like smells it, I think, or
Yes.
something. Like
Yep.
he's afraid she's gonna.
Which is hilarious because, like, I'm sorry, if you smell the glass of whiskey with poison in it, are you gonna be like, oh, a little bit of rat poison in there? Like, you're not gonna fucking
No,
know.
you're not gonna
No,
know.
I don't think you're gonna fucking know. And
Work at a high school.
yeah, what you're a guidance counselor. Oh, that's so mean. You know what?
Yeah.
There's some great guy.
Sure.
No, actually, I had some shitty guidance.
Yeah.
No, they're all
My guidance
trash.
counselor was a fucking son of a bitch. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
I'd
what.
smack him in the face.
Good or
Yeah.
bad, none of them are poison sniffers. By
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fair point.
Well, I want to, for people who maybe didn't watch the movie before listening to this, there's this weird, like, Kevin Bacon's going to get some of the money from the settlement.
Yeah.
They're all like
Yes.
divvying up the money, and that's why they're eliminating each other. And watching it, I was like, well, how does any of this work? Because it's all in Matt Dillon's account or name. But then at the end, we do see Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's
kind of-
involved.
I mean, here's the other
Yeah.
thing too, though. Like Kevin Bacon, you're just a dumbass in this
Yes.
movie because,
Yeah.
like, he's like, "All right, so where's my money? You saw my dick. Where's my money?" And he's Kevin Dillon is like Matt Dillon. God
Damn.
damn it! You know what?
Every
I
time-
just love Entourage so fucking much.
Every time you want to say that, close your eyes and be like, oh no, the good one's in this one.
Yeah.
The good one.
So Matt Dillon is like, "Oh, the thing about the money is, my guy says it's gonna take a couple days.
Yeah.
and so why don't you just hang out? We could go on my
You know
boat."
what?
And it's like, dude, no, couple days, no.
Hang out in your own fucking hotel room until the
Yep.
Yes.
transfer clears, and then you get the fuck out of there.
We can have
Absolutely.
dinner at the hotel bar tonight if
Yeah,
you'd like.
we can
Yep.
get a drink
Uh-huh.
Yep.
around a lot of people at 6 p.m.
Public appearances only. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to be able to face the front door though, in case the fucking
You
fuzz
can vote.
comes.
Mm-hmm. But no, he gets fucking murked. And yes, Matt Dillon gets poisoned, and Neve Campbell reveals herself to be an evil genius here. And I think Neve Campbell's good in this movie. I like Neve Campbell.
I liked her and her. I've got a good pop quiz for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Greekity Greek shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, that part lost me. I was like, "Mole."
I was like, I recognize these names, but I've been drinking today. I don't know what's going on anymore. And then he realizes, he's been poisoned.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, he does go poison. Yeah.
And then she like works the winch or whatever
Yeah.
in order to have the sail like hit him.
Dude,
and
I
send
love
him
the
off.
camera going right at his face,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I would like his last words, but you know what? The threesome was worth it.
Yep,
And he just
absolutely.
goes,
totally fine.
And now then we
Dudes
get,
rock.
dudes rock are his last words.
like the end, but then there's like 15 minutes of movie left.
Yeah,
It
it's
pissed
like
me
I was
off,
like, I thought it was like done, and then I was like, oh no, wait, lady detective,
Yeah.
and like
Yep.
Neve Campbell has a 200 some IQ.
That
like,
is
I
the biggest
chuckled.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to go into fucking IQ tests.
We
Just
just-
give
we
me
can-
the brass tacks of what the scheme was.
Yep.
Yeah, and we can just believe, okay, she's a fucking evil genius.
Yes.
She outsmarted all of them.
That's
they
it.
underestimated her because she was a poor girl.
Yep.
And
That's-
a goth.
that's it.
And
She's on a boat. She's won. Like, she wins.
And
That's
there's
it.
there's nothing that any of those scenes offer,
Yes.
like minus her and Bill Murray. And like that's if you want that to be the little like button on it, that's fine. But all of these other things, they don't really offer any new information.
No.
It's all shit that you can either like guess happened or have literally been told happened,
Mhm.
but you're just seeing it. And I'm like, no. Like I mean, like it's one of the things like Roger Ebert said that like has always stuck with me, but like when that fucking the end title card happens or your credits start rolling or whatever, your movie's done.
Yes.
Anything after that, you're just poisoning it or cheapening the deal or whatever, and that's exactly what happens to this movie. That's overall pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a blooper here and there.
Dude,
there's
that's
a good
what
blooper.
I thought it was gonna be for a second because I didn't remember any of this, and I was like, "Is he gonna like trip?"
Be?
Oh,
like,
the tit bath malfunctions or something. Like
or
it's
like the
popping out.
champagne bottle, like somebody slips off the bed.
Yep.
and titties
Yeah.
go a
Dillon
little.
is having a threesome and goes, no! Oh shit, I fucked it up. I was supposed to say yeah.
Kevin Bacon coming out of the shower and his dick gets caught in a fan.
Oh.
There's just one side of Matt Dillon, like, pretty tough job.
We should say the thing about the penis, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total accident situation. Kevin Bacon has a very strict, like, no nudity clause in his contracts, and he
Coward.
Totally. Especially with that fucking schlong. What do you got to be ashamed of?
Come
What's
on.
going on?
Come on.
But I guess the deal was like they'd been shooting it one way, and he was like, "Oh, my penis is not on camera," and they did it a bunch of times, and then they got the one, and then it was in the movie, and he didn't know until he saw the movie, and it was
awesome.
like, "Oh, my dick." Well, and he was cool about it though, because I guess he had some line where like the contract thing was there, but he was also like a producer on the movie, and he was like, "Well, I guess I could have sued myself."
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I mean, like, I guess the editor, like, another story is that the editor convinced him to do it, to keep it in, like, let's keep this shot,
After
blah, blah,
he
blah.
saw it,
And he's like, okay, fine, blah, blah, blah. It's a big old dick. Why? I don't know what you're hiding, dude.
Yeah, and I think we said this before, but I like how casual it is.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm getting it. I'm getting out of the shower, showing my dick to my friend who I want to suck it.
It is for the ladies, though. Like, again, we've seen a lot of breasts. We've seen a lot of making out from, like, it's a little something for somebody to look at a dick.
That pool making out scene with Neve Campbell and Denise Richards is so fucking hot because it's like it has such a good build up because it's like, oh, we're touching each other's lips. Oh, let me move your hair.
Oh yeah,
they have that car scene too.
Oh yeah,
where like she's like got like a belt of scotch that
and
she's
just
throwing
like
back,
guzzling it.
Yeah, totally. But there's another like because they're like, what should we do tonight? And it's like, we should just fucking go crazy.
Let's go crazy. Let's just like eat each other out.
LOL,
that's hilarious.
Ooh, pussy tastes so good. Oh my god, I love it.
I'm eating it out ironically.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is just a joke. It's like, okay, girl, no. Maybe you're just like into women.
This is part of the scheme. Remember, this is part of the scheme.
Yeah, it's all for the big plan.
Well, she had to have a high IQ to eat pussy like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I do not need this fucking dude fixing his truck at the end of the movie. Like, she took all sorts of IQ tests, huh? Yep.
Oh, this was her boat. Ha ha ha. Get it?
Yep.
Yo, audience.
I would just look at an ending gator fight. We keep teasing it.
yeah.
I want to see a real one. I want to see this guy get his head
just
fucking
just
cut
a
off.
gator fight over the
Or
entire
at least
end
lose
credits.
like
A nose.
or
Sure.
like his like hand or something.
Sure.
I was conflating the end of this movie with adaptation.
Oh.
And I was like, when's the part where the fucking gator swoops in and eats somebody?
Nah.
Not in this movie. Could have used it, but not in this movie.
It would have been fun to see Kevin Bacon just be eaten by a shark. Just
Yeah.
real quick, right? Just
Right,
Right.
when he's in the water with all the blood, you
Yeah.
can almost see
Yeah.
that happening.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I've
exactly.
liked.
It'd be fucking rad.
Yeah.
That would be so fucking funny.
But that is Wild Things, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of silly for me to ask if anyone would recommend this movie, but Angelica, I'll start with you. Not would you recommend it, but like final thoughts and like maybe something you kind of took away this time rewatching the movie that you didn't appreciate before, maybe.
One thing that I was thinking about watching it was like, yeah, this was a bisexual awakening for me. But one of the most interesting things sometimes about like being a very feminine woman, also into pretty feminine women, is sometimes I'm like, do I want to fuck her or do I want to look like her? And I'm not sure, but let's find out.
Or do I want to kill her? Because I watched Wild Things.
Because I watched Wild Things, and that seems like a good idea. No, this was just a lot of fun to watch. I was kind of apprehensive going into it because I was like, I haven't seen this since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if it's going to hit the right tone, but I had so much fun with this. It's a huge fuck yeah from me. If you haven't seen it, I say watch it.
There you go, Steve Sadak.
Yeah, I mean, we said it before, but they don't make movies like this anymore. I mean, it's just like this is on the Lifetime Network now, and it's not good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, to have like good to great actors, you know, depending on how you feel about this cast, do this kind of schlocky material and really give it their. Everybody wants this movie to work, which is kind of cool. Like,
Everybody's in on it. Yep.
Like, Bill Murray is not looking for a paycheck. Even, again, Robert Wagner, who I don't even like, is just sort of like cursing, and like everybody wants this movie to make it, and it did. And it shows. It's this weird schmaltzy labor of love in a weird way, and it makes sense why this was such a surprise kind of hit.
Eric Siska.
Yeah, we need more movies like this. We need to bring back like erotic thrillers. We need to have sex again in cinema, and it was kind of great revisiting it because it's like a bygone era completely.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So obviously it's a recommended. I feel like it was kind of a joke for so many years, but like you look at it now with everything we've seen since, it's like, fuck, this was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah.
Christopher Cabin.
Oh yeah, I'll echo that. Steve, the cast really does make it for me. I think that's what really makes this thing sing.
Yeah.
And Eric is right. Sex has been. I think Sex went out the same time that like gross out comedy went out. Like suddenly, like Fear of the Body became very intense. I feel all of a sudden at the same time, and that both came with sex and with like gross out humor. But I will also say a thing I like about this movie is the Florida setting. They use it. It's actually part of the whole movie, and it gives the movie a lot of character. Where something like this that might be on like a Netflix movie, a Netflix original, would be all CGI, green screen.
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
You mean like
Yeah.
Woman in the Window?
Yeah. It's, oh god.
Did not see it.
No, I still haven't seen
Ooh.
it, but I'm like, wow, this looks really like what the fuck was going on with
Here's the
this?
thing, because it's not fun bad. It's like you're
Oh.
embarrassed for everybody involved.
Got
Because
it.
my whole thing is like, Amy, girl, you were good. You were doing real good. What have your choices been in the last
Mhm.
minute?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know.
So what happened? She closed the blinds, or
It's like it's pseudo like rear windowy at
Mm.
first, but then it
Right.
gets into like all this other shit, and like there's not a. It's weird because it's a Joe Wright movie, but there's like no direction of actors.
Sounds
It's
like
all just
Joe
embarrassing.
Wrong,
It's
that
a,
day.
it's a Joe Wrong. It's a Joe Wrong. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything that y'all didn't say already. I mean, just that like again, like bring fucking back into movies. I mean, it was
Yes.
weird because yesterday when I watched this earlier in the day, I had watched Fast Five because we were doing the show with Gabrus, and like what we wound up talking about a little bit in that episode is how like here's Dwayne Johnson, like fucking Johnny Beefcake, and he's like constantly sexless in everything that he's
It's
ever
like he's a
in.
Kindle, and
Yes.
it's like, but a lot of stars are like that. It's not even just bring the fucking back, bring sensuality
Yeah.
back, bring
Absolutely.
Make out with
Yeah.
somebody for once.
like
humanity.
Eroticism.
eroticism, bring back like a very specific type of heated charisma that feels sexual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know how like repressed all that's been just simply from the fact that like one of the things when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out, one of the things everybody kept talking about and the thing that was like the most gifable part of the movie was Brad Pitt taking his fucking shirt off on the roof. And like, yeah, he's 50 plus and looks great or whatever, but everybody was like, oh my God. But it's like, that's like nothing.
It's nothing.
It's like nothing
Nothing
in
at
comparison of what we used to have
Sure.
in movies like this. What's the other one I was saying? What's that fucking Jim Belushi erotic thriller where he's, yeah, I'm fucking dead on the car at the beginning.
Oh,
Something lies.
Traces of
Separate-
Red.
Traces of Red. Yeah.
I do think that also like this movie they made that movie, was it A Simple Favor or whatever the hell that was?
Yeah.
And everyone lost their minds about it. And that movie's pretty chaste as well.
That's basically like a Strangers on the Train.
but
kind
it's
of thing.
closer to this level, and that's,
Yes.
I think that's why everybody loved it so much, and I wasn't super into it. But at the very least, like it was trying with the cast to make this
I
kind
didn't
of
dig on it, but like again though, like it's not as like sex filled as something like
yes,
that could have
totally,
been,
exactly.
right? So it's just a bummer. Like, let's get that back into movies, everybody. That's the
Do
fucking that's the thesis of this
Let's
episode.
fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, it's another thing, just really just to say another thing is like Eric, you touched on it a little bit, but like the rep of this movie, like that's why it's important to reevaluate shit. Because you know what, newsflash, this is a great movie and it's been a fucking joke for 20 years.
It's been a joke because everyone who talks about it saw it when they were 14 giggling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's That's Wild Things, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I'm glad we picked this. A good choice, my friend. This was
Thank
all
you.
you. It was great. So have at it. What do you got going on? What do you want to plug? What's happening?
I write shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
If you want to read my work, I'm a critic at New York Magazine site Vulture. That is where the majority of my work is. I'm not on Twitter much, but I may still occasionally share like important pieces. But I also have a newsletter if you want to subscribe to that. You know, I'm around.
There you go.
And so happy I got to be on and see you guys. This was awesome.
This is great. It's great to be in studio hanging with friends.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Back to it.
So that's gonna do it for us, gang. If you want more We Hate Movies, of course, patreon.com/We Hate Movies. We got a lot going on this month and always.
Yeah, History
really.
of Violence was this month. We did Ken on Glee
Ken.
Glossary. We've got an animation damnation on Jonah Hex and Green Arrow for your comic book nerd friends.
Ew, Green Arrow.
Least but not least, Green Arrow.
Wow.
Rude.
Wow.
Rude.
Eat shit, Oliver.
But yeah, there's a lot. And
The Jackass commentary.
Jackass commentary is coming out.
Or
New
maybe it's
Melrose
out.
210.
Melrose 210, which
Ooh,
Angelica
hot.
will be on very shortly. We're not sure when. We're working on it, but it's going to happen.
It's gonna
Yes,
happen.
indeed.
It's going to be great. And as always, of course, on the free feed here, the show rolls on next Tuesday. We're still in the summer blockbuster
Yeah.
extravaganza.
Oh, we absolutely are.
I got no idea how time works, Steve. But so what are we going to be talking about?
We're
next
talking
week?
about one of the reasons why all movies are sexless, which is Iron Man 2.
There it
Oh,
is. You
wow.
fucking sexless ass movie. And if there was ever a time when a movie should have been sex,
Oh yeah, Mickey Rourke just slopping it up.
I fuck my
Oh.
parrot.
I am hot.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good. I hold the little dog. I fuck you. It's good.
Does he hold the dog while?
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah.
idea.
Up above the head.
So until next week, when we figure out some stuff about Mickey Rourke, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven, say that.
Eric Siska.
Chris Gavin.
Angelica Jade Bastién.
Take it easy. Yeah!
That was a HeadGum podcast.